Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery created by our very own Dungeon Mr. Ty and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com.
There is a place, an ancient ruin long lost in its purpose or intent. It is seated upon the northwestern shore of the Crowned Lakes, nestled between the mighty flow of the aspirant's call and the grand steepled mountains of the dream giver's aspiration. There, in the foothills, overlooking the lake and just before the dense thicket of the luminous forest known as the glowing deepwood, it lies. The ancient Lamplack Foundation protrudes several thousand shins from the top of a great hill, so as to create a great plateau to build a city upon. But where once there were many a great structure, there is now only ghosts of what once was. Half an archway with faint etching of Lamplack design, rubbed smooth and vague by the passage of time and elements. A cornerstone here or there, an old wall half collapsed, and many other piles of stone overgrown in the most beautiful of ways by moss and grass. Yet now, hung between them all are strings of worn, colorful flags dancing in the constant breeze that sweeps down from the northern slope of the Dreamgivers. Tents of patchwork color and fabric are hoisted in near permanent shelter. From time to time, the sound of an Asgul gong and a singing bowl may be heard as the new denizens of this place endeavor in deep meditation and rumination on what once was and what may be. For this ruin is now home to a collective of Selku of the Guardians faction, and it now carries a new name, Seer's Chance. It is here, in the foothill valley just before the mighty wall climbing to the plateau above, that our story begins. A switchback staircase folding in upon itself some 50 times before the weary travelers at its foot shall arrive upon the top to the long-awaited rest within Seer's Chance. It has been a very long journey to get here, but they have finally, well, almost, anyway, finally arrived. And we now return to a large half Lamplack, half why am I blanking on the name? Kekoots. Yep. And a small Sweehen fluttering beside him. You have traveled from the range camp many, many days through the wilderness. You met sometime before the range camp, but it was in the range camp in the glowing deep woods that you had to pass through a little shelter from that often dark, often dangerous wilderness area, that you learned about a great sage known as Stilmanthagni, perhaps a grand seer from this Seer's Chance, a grand oracle, who has gone missing. There is a call looking for those brave enough to endeavor into the wilderness mountains of the Dreamgiver's aspiration to find him. For your own reasons, you have set out to do just this task, knowing that Seer's Chance, you can learn more specifics, learn what you need to here, as well as a place to resupply. When you emerged from the glowing deepwood, though there were some perils there, you had to move through a really quite rugged terrain. The northern, essentially foothills around the north and northeast side of the Crown Lake are rugged. They're really only good for grazing animals. There isn't any kind of farmland or anything like that. And especially in the darkening, it's rather exposed, which means interactions with wild beasts are common, especially those hunting, because there's not much place to take shelter within. So you've had your encounters You've had cuts and bruises, and you've seen combat on your way. It's cold, especially leaving the glowing deep wood where you have protection from the elements. Here, it's really in the valley floors, but the cold wind often sweeps down from the eastern dream givers and floods across towards the Crown Lake through the valleys. And so you guys are tired, you're worn, your rations are slim to none, but you have arrived here. Why don't we begin with Haruki? Haruki, would you describe your character, your motivations, how you're feeling in this moment as you stare up as 50 switchbacks up this massive, ancient temple-like structure built along the side of this hill, old ancient Lomplok design all throughout, moss growing. Yeah.
The essence of my ancestors are strong in this place, and I sort of shake with a bit of a chill from the cold wind that's blowing down, sort of snapping me to attention as I go from weariness to excitement. You see this large, real big Kakoots form in resemblance to a bear, ursine in display, purple fur upon their body with black, not quite equally spaced splotches of black fur, but somewhat pervasive across their body. They wear leather like vest over their chest and shoulders, and they grin with a big toothy grin, a smile upon their face that exposes these large canines that jut out, not in anything of a aggressive manner, more of a joyful glee, as they speak as if to the sky and the mountains before them. If you were just happening to see this display, or if you knew better, like their companion Kexy, who I imagine is just flitting about their head and their shoulders, speaking to them with a couple of Sweehu chirps and whistles, and this is the place. I can't believe that we've come this far, the forest, and I'm not gonna lie, Kexy, there was a time where I thought we wouldn't make it. But now
I never doubted. Never had a single doubt in us. I knew we would make it even on our last rations. We saw it from the distance and now we're here.
You are the eternal optimist. You know what they say about hope. It is the pillar upon which the world is built. I believe it to be true.
I like that. That's in here now. They like take their little clawed foot and try to like tap their head. It doesn't work.
Ruki, as you're talking with Kexy, absentmindedly, you raise your right hand to your shoulder, where the scars are mostly healed, thanks also to your healing, but where shortly after emerging from the deep wood, as the evening had set upon you guys had an encounter with a pair of Kokrel, who attacked you, assailed you, actually leaping for Kexyfess. And you intervened with your body, one biting into your shoulder, the other into your right side, and thus ensued a combat. All weary as you were from the range camp, you fought with these kind of like, yeah, let's show some images here. These sort of like very feral, like almost like badger flying squirrels, but they're quite large. They're like a golden retriever or like a Rottweiler size, with these quilled tails. Where you guys fought and you tussled with these things, eventually vanquishing one, another one scurrying off. But it was in that moment, after you had felled this creature, you noticed in the ground of this rough hillside a disc-like shape. It was ancient lamp-pluck, just buried just beneath the surface, maybe dropped there some very long time ago. Normally, I mean, you've seen lamp-pluck things as you move through the deep wood and other sort of stuff, but this, you have this keen memory of being a child watching your mother paint, as she loved to do on the coastline, drawing many images of things that she had seen in her adventures, and you remember her painting this. And you picked it up, and it's and you can add it to your inventory. It is a lamp-pluck disc. There's old ancient lamp-pluck engraving. You've tried to interpret it, but haven't been able to. You're pretty sure your mother would have known or would know what it said, but you never really thought to ask her. Strangely, on the back side of like the stone disc engraving is a set of what seemingly useless gears. They're interconnected. Old lamp-pluck technology, pre-emergence technology, but seemingly with no function. You've absent-mindedly toyed with the gears. They don't spin. They seem sort of locked in place. It seems just a disc without function, but you kept it. You pocketed it on you as it reminded you of some of those sweet years in the coastline with your mother and her painting.
And perhaps a portent of a journey of destiny.
Yes.
Which Haruki believes quite strongly in that concept. That there is a purpose, even for him.
And then your attention returns to Kexyfess, flying around, tapping her head, trying to remember. Kexyfess, tell us about your character, about this Starnum.
Kexyfess, as stated, is currently in the body of a fledgling Suihu, all white with the little splotches of brown upon their head and tail. Behind them is a floating bag of just like a mesh sack that contains a variety of things that are just floating somewhere behind us. Kexy is... How to describe this Starnum? Their goal, and what has been their goal for a long time now, is to experience as much as Nuovarden has to offer. As they are not from Nuovarden originally. They have lived since the pre-emergence and accidentally caused the emergence alongside the rest of the Starnums. Sorry about that. So, they are wanting to experience what it is like being in these forms of Nuovarden and all of the chaos and calm that it can bring. And so this new adventure, going along with Haruki and seeing this place called Seer's Chance and all of the things that they, Ruki, have fought over the course of the time, they are excited. And they are pretty much always excited.
Kexyfess, as you fly around, as you flutter, you land for a moment on Ruki's shoulder and peer up at the... I mean, you're not worried about this walkway, and Ruki is certainly strong enough to make up the many, many switchbacks. But a common phrase comes back to your memory. A phrase from a friend, another Starnum friend of yours, that you've always held dear. They recanted from their time before the collapse. They had a friend who was not in Nuovarden, apart from Nuovarden, known as Vernax, by short. And he used to say, the mind is a blade, both a weapon and a direct path. It will guide you to whatever you seek. And you remember your friend imparting upon you to remember that, especially having been diminished in the former glory of Astarnum and only having the mind, that it is still the mind is so very important. And once per day, you may recant this saying, and in so doing, decrease the difficulty of any mind attempt you make. By remembering this saying, it has kept you aware. It has kept you going in some of your hardest endeavors here with Haruki. This sort of remembering that your mind, despite being a little sweehoo, your mind is your true weapon and also your guiding star. And that curiosity, that direction, it will provide it to you. And together, you begin your first steps up this grand switchback. 2 banner poles are thrust into the ground on either side of this long stairway, flying proudly the banner of the Guardians. A single eye of stone gray exudes a crimson tear upon a field of golden yellow, now diminished by years of flapping in the winds as the winds sweep through the valley. Along the great slanted wall leading up to the plateau, often where the staircase switches back, protrude various corbels. Perhaps they once held the stone motifs of Lamplok hunters or mighty beasts, but now they only seem to hold a collection of Selku, Asgul, or Ixa meditating upon the corbels, precariously outcropping from the overlooking and very terrible fall to the valley floor below. It is a wonder that they are not swept off by the strong gusts of winds, and may be curious how they got to these corbels, oftentimes nowhere near where the switchback staircases are, but nevertheless, they are there meditating in this quiet place. And nearly every switchback are collections of clay jars burning fragrant incense, acritic, earthy smells that to the viewer would smell like pine or often scents of cinnamon within this incense rise up out of these urns, their flames dancing wildly in the winds. As you move, the incense, even in your exhaustion, moving up all of these flight of stairs, seem to give you and invigorate you, but in a sort of quiet sort of way. And as you near the top, you hear the loud boom of a gong sound off, and then the sound of multiple singing bowls all begin to play. Somewhere in the distance, it's not some greeting to you, but some sort of chorus, and you guys are both certain of Asgul design, some sort of great meditating music being played in this space.
Do you think it'll be rude if we interrupt?
Yes, I do.
Do we bring gifts? Did we bring gifts?
We should.
We have some gifts. We could probably give them something, right? We probably have something that they want.
I'm sure we do have gifts that they would want. The Elder Council.
Knowledge is great. We're good at that. And you can fight things in case they need that.
Is that a gift?
I mean, we're also here to help them, so I guess that helps. Okay. Do you think they'd mind if I took one of these flaming things?
Not at all.
Yes. I'm gonna telekinetically? What's that called?
Yeah, telekinetics, that's right.
Telekinetic? Fantastic. I'm gonna try and telekinetically pick one of those up and take it with me.
No need to try. Like I said, in times of peace and non-pressure, you can simply manifest. So you lift with your mind, pull out like the stick of incense, or a whole like jar holding some of like the
whole jar.
You pick up this clay pitcher, and as you pull it towards you, you are aware. I mean, this is like really well made clay jar. It's not like pre-emergence, but you can see Asgul design around it, like the hand of an Asgul potter artfully crafted this jar. There's soot, and there's a mixture of like these twigs that look like they've been dried, but maybe had started this incense is burned from a sort of twig that's budding before the blossom has formed. So they cut it before the blossom has formed, and then it slowly burns in this sort of sand and soot. And that's what gives off this kind of cinnamon pine-like fragrance.
Whoa.
That will make a fine gift. Indeed.
I think it's there. Is that? We'll figure it out. Okay. Confidence. That's all we need.
And with the last couple of stairs, you finally emerge at the top to achieve a feast for the eyes. First and foremost, standing immediately at the top are two extremely yoked out Asgard warriors, tattooed. They wear only like an armored ceremonial loincloth and like sandals, and they hold these large double-handed, the blade runs nearly the whole shaft, bladed weapons on either side, and they stand like statues at this area. One has this both have kind of no hair, but for a single braid. One has like this braid, intricately braided. And you assume, just by how detailed it is, it holds some sort of meaning to the Asgol, and it kind of hangs limply. The other one, his hair is just a single sort of ponytail, but it's wild, some 3 feet flapping in the wind like a banner itself. And they stand here, just these impressive statues. Just beyond them, a essentially city of tents, of patchwork tents, of just color is in no short supply here. Now, most of it is worn by the wind and the elements, so it's like faded, but like patchwork tents of green and red and purples, and banners of flags everywhere. You see Asgol going about, often bringing incense and things. You see Selku just sitting on whatever all throughout the city, some meditating, some walking to places where there are gathered several other Selku or Ixa. But it is essentially a tent city up here, a non-permanent, but in many ways permanent fixture upon this plateau. Everywhere the smell of incense, everywhere the sound, like tranquil sounds of singing bowls and gongs being played. Even some Asgol children run about. But more present is directly in front of you. Between the two Asgol warriors stands a Selkie. Locknall, would you describe your characters?
Yes, I am a gangly figure wrapped all in bandages from the looks of it. They cover my face and my head, and only my eyes appear, only two eyes looking through the opening in the bandages, and a sort of skirt around my waist that goes down just below my knees and is tied with the yellow sash. The yellow sash perhaps has a small embroidery of that same eye symbol on it that looks like a bleeding eye, very stylized. And I hold a bow staff with wraps around it of a darker wood, and I stand as if I'm waiting to speak to you, and I have the staff in the ground, and my long black twiggy fingers are wrapped around it, and a few tattoos where my skin peeks through. You can see them on my face and just various places. You don't see that much of my skin, but where you do see it, they stand out. We were told a pair of you would be arriving here. You are Huruki and
Kexyfess, Rose, Draxel.
So, yes, that's what was told in the message. I am Lacknell Kovolisto. I am to be your guide across the Porter's Road.
We get another friend? Bro, we didn't even have to try.
This is
We had to come here.
wonderful. It's a pleasure to meet you and your companions. You expected us, you say?
Yes, there was a message sent ahead. You look like you need some time to collect
And
yourself.
food. This is a feast of the senses, but I admit my stomach growls nonetheless.
Perhaps I should introduce you to the leaders of the Reach before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
I love meeting people.
It's true.
So your name's Lagna. How long have you been here? And how old are you? How does Selkie work in age? Do they live for a really long time? I should probably know this. I've been here for a while.
Yes.
How long has this place been here even?
We will have so much time for questions. I imagine if
Right, if we're all
Locknall
traveling
joins
together.
us.
Yeah.
My friend
no,
is
you're
very
right.
curious of the world, and it is quite a joy, the exuberance of experience. You'll get used to it.
Mischievousness of the Starnum stands out.
Mischief. Okay. Well, I don't personally think that I'm very mischievous. I inhabit what some may think to be a mischievous animal. But
I have a question for you, Inquisitive One. My eyes look up at the jar of incense. Did you bring that all the way here, or did you recently find it?
Oh, I found it very recently on the stairs. It smelled so lovely.
Just right over there, actually.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it yours?
Not directly, no.
Oh, good.
I have value.
Good. That will be useful if you wish to supply yourselves again.
Yes, that would be very nice.
We will need rations for the journey ahead.
You will. You will indeed.
How many rations? Like how many days roughly do you think
Well,
this?
Prepare for 4 to
5.
5 phases
5.
minimum. But at that minimum, you would be expected to forage, depending on how long we will be gone.
Are you good at
8
that?
phases probably is better.
Okay, 8. 8's a good number.
We will need
Do
to
you know the
procure
historical
provisions here if possible.
It is possible, but for the moment, perhaps you should get acquainted with the village. Come with me.
Okay.
Locknall, on your way, it's fairly easy to find a stand with some food. Mostly what's consumed here is a mixture of legumes and fruits foraged. Again, the hillsides are they're really good just for grazing. So what is brought is usually brought from the forests to the north or from the mountain. And most of the time it's put into essentially like a dal, like a lentil-esque soup. And so you're able to quickly procure some food for those who just arrived on your way to the grand tent that sits at the center.
I'll present the bowls to them, a gift from us. Each eat your fill.
Thank you.
A gift? You all are so nice.
It's so good. Feel much better now.
I'm much slower, sorry.
Take your time.
Upon your crossing, as you guys slowly eat, moving towards the large tent, Kexyfess, you actually become aware of another Starnum's presence. And looking out the corner of your left eye, quite far away, you actually see a groff perched on a log. Except it's like chest fur and chin fur is long and braided. Very nice with like beads in it. And it sits between an Ixa who is meditating and a Selku who is meditating, and it has its eyes closed, and there are groups of those around, and it is uttering. It's too far to hear what it is saying, but essentially it is connecting to both the mind of the Selku and the Ixa at the same time, divulging what they are experiencing. Perhaps around Locknall, you would know this practice. You don't have many Starnum here, but this one is well known and has basically made residence here. He is essentially somebody will come with a certain place, and the Selku will reflect on the ancient, on Nephi's memory of it, while the Ixa perplexes the future designs or whatever as this sort of grand reading of a place or an object. And this Starnum is the vessel to express that, so it does not distract from the two in their meditations.
I need to go over there immediately. I need to be involved in whatever is happening over there as soon as
you do
possible.
not need to be involved. You're here for a different purpose.
As soon as possible didn't mean necessarily today. I mean, I would love for it to be today, but if, on our way back after we succeed on everything, and then I get to go say hi to another Starnum and maybe connect with the mind of a Selku in the future of the Iksha.
There may be time when we are finished.
It'd be really cool.
Ruki, as you're moving forward and Kexyfess is looking at this, there's actually a Thoslo sleeping on a mound of grass in the center of this plaza. And on its back is a Huda, carriage. So this is a tamed Thoslo who transports likely some of the sages or oracles when they need to travel up in this Huda or whatever, but it's just sleeping. It's just slumbering. There's a couple Asgold children just braiding its hair. It doesn't even wake. It's just passive, lying there as Locknall slowly leads you to the tent of the elders. Before we enter the tent of the elders, is there anything else you guys want to do or look at before we go in?
I think Ruki would have probably gotten another bowl of soup while they were talking, but while they were explaining what was going on with the Starnum channeling of consciousness.
And I think while we were walking to the tent after the dissuasion of going over and interrupting a very important meditative process, Kexy would be asking Locknall, so is there a certain etiquette to meeting these leaders? Is there things we should say, things we shouldn't say? I don't want to come off as offensive, but I know that I can be a lot sometimes. And just, yeah, I'm literally just doing circles around your head.
I think
I don't really want to be a lot because I know I can be, and I can come off as a little much sometimes. But
Locknall takes a couple of steps and will stop and then turn and start to answer you, and then keep walking and then stop and then give up and then keep walking and then stop and then turn around finally and face you and say, primarily, the habit should be to allow the leaders to speak the most.
Oh, I'm really bad at that. Okay.
Practice now. Now is a good time to practice.
Wow. That's actually really good.
Are we doing it?
Yeah. You're doing great.
Okay, good.
Come along.
If I can, they'll just start tweeting.
Let's just start singing. And with that, you move into this large tent. The tent actually moving in is essentially a fog of incense, kind of lingers up near the rafters. This is perhaps the most fragrant of space. And all kinds of carpets and cushions around the outer edges of this space. Is a space of deep meditation, although nobody is really occupying it outside of a central forum of 4 cushions are seated and kind of on top of sort of pedestals. 3 of those have the elder sitting in them. One, a Selku, another a rotund Ixa, and the third an Asgol woman with a large stone or a metal singing bowl in her lap. The 4th seat is empty. Locknall, you move in and present the guests.
I move forward, and with my staff, I cross an arm and bow to the leaders, and then step aside and extend my arm, and you see my long black fingers push towards you. Our esteemed guests. This one is Kexyfess and Haruki.
The Selku looks up first at you with a kind smile on their face. The Ixa is looking your direction. Is only like half like crisscross applesauce. One leg is kind of out, and he's more almost seems just like relaxed. And his eyes, though they look like they're looking at you, they very clearly feel like they're just simply looking past you. Like you're just part of the surrounding, and they have the Asgul woman continues to just play her singing bowl quietly, hushed, and doesn't make much of a movement. But the Selku raises his head.
Greetings. Greetings, my name is Batmasori. I am one of the Selku elders and leaders of this space. I must first say, the three of us, we are exceptionally grateful for you taking on this charge, for we have put the message out, and you are the first to respond to it.
That's all for Haruki. He's really wonderful, and I am here to accompany him.
Well,
thank you, by the way, for the food. It was really delicious.
really good.
Oh, yes. The food here is wonderful, yes.
Who makes it? Never mind.
You, as you would have learned in the range camp, are here to search for one of our elders, the fourth.
And he gestures over to the empty seat slowly.
The great seer Stilmanthagni, the founder of Seer's Chance. And, well, perhaps the greatest oracle I have ever known amongst the Selku.
We are honored to be of assistance.
Yes.
Yes. Well, perhaps I should give you some details. Make you understand a bit better the predicament we are facing. You see, Stilmanthagni takes a pilgrimage several times in the cycle out to the great lucid cleft, a vast, intimidating mountain spire deep within the dream giver's aspiration. None of us quite yet have figured out how he quite summits it, as even mighty Lomplok alpinists, mountaineers struggle to reach its summit. But he knows its path well, and he goes on pilgrimages to meditate upon its chilling summit for weeks on end, gleaming back deeply within the memory of Nephis. Usually these endeavors take a week or two, maybe 3. But it has been well over 5 or 6 since he departed. And we fear for his safety that something grave has befallen him. We have asked of many who have pilgrimed to Stonethrow, a small Lenai village at the base of the Lucid Cleft, and they have not seen him come down. I have seen him go up, but never come back down, and a strangeness has begun to possess much of the Dreamgiver's aspiration.
And he sort of reflects there and goes quietly.
This
The
sounds
Ixa is still silent.
This sounds very serious. This sounds really serious.
Lagnol, is this a question time? Is this a time that I can talk and ask questions? Because I have so many.
It would be good to start with one or two of
Okay.
your questions.
Okay. One question. What type of strangeness?
The Asgul woman stops playing the singing bowl. She raises her head. She's aged, but still has this youthfulness to her. Her hair is long, silver. Her skin is adorned with beads and malas, golden rings, and silver hoops. She is art itself. And before her, this master crafted silver singing bowl that she slowly plays. My name is Nuovarden. We have heard of the weather. It is acting abnormal. That every 1,000 breaths, a great sound is heard in the sky, that the earth tremors, that a powerful gale force sweeps out through the mountains, and that the clouds have begun to act strange in the space. Without fail, every 1,000 breaths, darkening or not, this occurs, and has been occurring after 3 weeks of Stilmanthagni going to the summit.
Now would be a good time to ask a second question.
Second question now. Okay. Thank you. Stilmanthagni, they were an elder. How much of an elder would this trip potentially have done something to them?
It's hard to say. We all know that the Lucid Cleft is a dangerous summit, though he has done it for many years, and perhaps knows the Dreamgiver's aspiration better than most.
Okay.
It is perplexing, is it not?
And he looks over to the Ixa next to him.
Mulkash.
Mulkash, eyes focus a little bit on the three of you. Grunts and nods, and then unfocuses his eyes.
Is it possible that this elder Stilmanthagni does not wish that this elder Stilmanthagni does not wish to be found?
I would not. Perhaps
He looks over at Nuovarden. She sort of nods that curiously. Yes, perhaps he is still, in fact, meditating, though it would not account for the strangeness that has begun.
If that is the case, when we find them, and we will find them, I believe our path is destined to intersect with theirs.
Yes.
What if they tell us, run along now, leave me be, I'm in the middle of some grand, esoteric, inspirational enlightenment?
Right. Well, do your best to beseech them on behalf of the three elders, their peers, to to do come back, for we are gravely concerned.
We are very persuasive.
But if they do not, that is their will. And we will respect it. You simply return with word of the will and that they are all right and still meditating.
And if nothing more, maybe they have some sort of an idea of how we can calm the energy of this place.
Speaking of the energy of this place, but Matsuri,
Yes.
has anything like this ever happened before?
He closes his first set of his second set of eyes and opens his first for a moment, and a moment of silence fills as his first pair of eyes opens on his forehead. And he takes a deep breath in, and the singing bowl begins to grow louder as the Asgul woman seems to respond to Bat Masuri slipping into this sort of vision, and it's just kind of reverberating through the hall. And you feel in this moment, actually, can I have each of you make a called roll song?
Ooh, interesting. That's 2 dice, right?
Yep, 2 dice.
High failures for me.
Nothing.
Double 3s?
Double 3s. Okay. The sound is mesmerizing, and you sense in it a great power. That is, sorry, Kexyfess. That is a what is it called? Not a restoration. Why am I blanking? Recovery. So if you would like to take a recovery option, you may.
I'll take armor.
And Locknall, did you get recovery?
No.
Okay. Yep. So go ahead and give yourself an armor factor. But you sense in the sound. I mean, this bowl. I mean, this bowl is powerful. The sound is overwhelming, and you guys can smell like the incense. You actually see some of the embers of the incense actually like flare up a little bit, and like the incense starts to produce more smoke. A minute or two of just silence passes, and Locknall, you have the wherewithal to perhaps raise a hand to make sure nothing interrupts this moment. And then Batmasori closes his first eyes, opens his second.
To my knowledge, never. Not like this. Strange weather, yes. But the cadence, yes?
He looks over at Nealthany. Yes, the cadence. It is systematic. 1,000 breaths. The gust, the boom, the earth trembling. Without fail, this is unnatural. And we do not know its source or why.
Okay, so we're going what you are wanting us to do. Go to the Dreamgiver's aspiration, find Stilmanthagni, because we will. Ask them to come back. If they say no, try to convince them. If they say no again, then we accept that and move on. And then fix the strange weather that's happening, or figure out what's going on with it. Just wanting to get expectations clear, understanding what...
Fixing the weather is not your primary responsibility, for we do not even know what has caused it.
Rookie. Okay.
We simply ask to do all you can to find out what has happened to Stilmanthagni. If he is in peril, please rescue him, return him. If...
He takes a moment, really pausing. Mulkash now speaks.
If he has perished, which I do not believe yet, return his body to us.
Okay. Of course we will.
And if he does not come with you, then come and provide us that information. If he asks of you or knows of the weather, well, that is to your decision. That is not what we are asking you to do. But if you so choose to take it upon yourself, or if he is bound by something, and you must deal with this anomaly in the weather to protect him, to bring him back, then yes, you must confront it.
You mentioned the dangers of this place, that even your finest mountaineers were unable to summit the cleft. How will we do this without knowing this place? Is there someone you can send with us as a guide, perhaps?
Nelfanel gestures with her hand to Locknall.
That is my role to you, and I can get you to the base of the cleft. It is not so much just our mountaineers, it is the Landplaque themselves who do attempt to summit, find difficulty. It is simply a treacherous journey from here to the entirety of the distance we must travel.
Locknall, you would also know that Lomplok have successfully summited. It's not an unsummitable peak. It's just can be formidable.
Yes.
Oh, very
Ruki's
well.
Gone through so much rough terrain and tall things and really sharp things. Rue's got this.
Sharp things, smooth things,
Yes.
pokey, and
Yes.
all of the things.
Rough.
All of them.
Rough
Every
things.
single one.
Smooth.
Yes.
Smooth things, yeah.
I haven't been up such a grand mountain as this, though, Kexyfess.
And that's what's wonderful about it. It's a first time. You're experiencing something new, and you're going to do it because we're going to put our minds to it, and we're really good at it.
Yes, of course we will, but let's not build up our odds so much that we deceive. We will do our
It's not
best
deceit.
to recover your companion, or at least make contact with them. Of course we will.
We always do our best, and it's the best.
That we can do.
Well, you certainly have the energy that we are looking for. It is important
Gonna do.
to get supplies here.
Yes.
For the journey is not easy, even when the weather is more predictable.
And he gestures over to Neophany.
Yes, Locknall can help you through the landscape, but you will follow the Porter's Road. Here from the base of Seer's Chance into the Dreamgiver's aspiration through the foothills. It will be some time, likely a day or two. You will reach a pass in the almost impassable cliffside, but there is a thin pass that moves through it known as the Seven Bridges Pass, an ancient pathway used by the Lomplok. Through this pass, you will come to a fork in the road. Here you will have the choice of the high road or the low road, though the prevailing wisdom is to take the high road to Stone Throw. But there is another path, the low road through the valley. It is quicker, but the valley is said to be more dangerous. In Stone Throw, it's a Lenai village. They are very hospitable to travelers, as they don't get them often, and you will find them intermingled with Lomplok alpineers and mountaineers there. They perhaps can help you discover the best route, or even help you in endeavoring up. But you should go prepared. The weather, the earth, everything is amiss on your travels. Buy what you think you need. Be ready for harsh conditions. For we cannot guarantee the porter's path is sufficient or remains entirely intact. I've heard rumors from the traveling. Locknall, you would know this also, of, really, since 3 weeks after Stilmanthagni, very few
have come from the Lenai village. Trade has seemingly stopped between the two. Some have ventured out and have returned, were quite battered and kind of reporting these anomalies to you. But Neothany passes this on to you. They have been deterred by the elements. So this path, once difficult, is now rather treacherous. Be prepared.
Always. We always prepared. We prepared just enough food to get here because we knew that you all would have rations for us to then get to prepare again.
Great soup.
Great soup.
Lacknall looked you both up and down suspiciously.
Suspiciously good soup.
Mulkash stirs and you realize that Mulkash is actually dozed a little bit in his seat.
Well, Neothany, don't forget.
And he kind of taps her shoulder and then kind of settles back, almost dozing again. Yes, Lacknall. She pulls from her satchel at her side a small ocarina. This, Lacknall, is the Catcher's Breath. It's made of clay, has Asgal symbols on it. Play it. I hope you do not need to ever play it, but should you, it can return the breath to one who has lost it. And then it will shatter and fall apart.
I step forward reverently and accept it.
She hands it to you in a linen cloth, kind of that was wrapped around it to you. A strong,
Like
a small
maybe
string.
a strap on it. Yeah. I imagine that the cloth is like a gray shade of green and like kind of velvety.
Yes,
And
absolutely. It will only work if within 3,000 breaths of when they last breathe.
thank you. I understand.
Well, please stay the night here and see us chance. Take time. There are a couple very lively merchants here who you can browse their wares. As stated, we have not had many shipments coming in from the Lenai village, which is primarily who we trade with. So they might not have the most in stock, but see what you can find.
Honorable Neothany, if I may ask but one more question, please.
Absolutely.
May I approach?
Yes. She gestures for you to come closer.
I'll take a few steps and I'll reach into my pack and I will pull out this Lanplak disc that I've found in my journeys. And I will. It's protected in some hides that I've tanned, and I'll unwrap it and just kind of hold it in my hand so that they can see it. Do you know of what origins this item is? It was found along the way in our travels.
You thank you, Haruki. But these gifts. And she gestures over to Batmasori, who already is kind of like sticking his head out to kind of view it as you're presenting it to
I'll quickly like turn to him, to Batmasori and just...
and he clasps his hand almost like
understand.
A little kid who's eager. And he kind of stares at it, rotates it in his hand, opens all four eyes as he kind of looks at it.
I cannot say with certainty. I know exactly what it is. It is a puzzle, a Lanplak design, a key, if you will, to something greater. Though what that is, I would, possibly could not see it. What do you think, Mulkash?
Mulkash stirs again and looks over at it.
May I?
And he extends his hand.
Yes, of course, of course.
He takes it rather irreverently and kind of like shakes it around a little bit and kind of looks at it.
Lot of peculiar things lately.
And he hands it back to you.
I'll just kind of look back at Kexy.
Keys missing their keyholes.
And he just kind of slumps, pondering his own words.
Thank
Well,
you.
Perhaps look in ancient Landpluck design ruin. If it looks like something might fit a disc, give it a try. Locknor, I know you are focused on the here, the now, the present.
It's a good place to be.
It may be very useful in deciphering its intent in the here and the now.
I will keep my eyes open, as we are wont to do, and attempt to figure that out should we see the opportunity.
I believe we will. Everything happens for a reason. And
Probably.
well, this was placed before us, as was our fate.
Sure.
Atmasori seems very pleased by what you're saying, Ruki. Mulkash, again, kind of, it seems to be zoning off. And Nialthani just kind of nodding and playing her music.
I'll bundle it back up. Thank you. Thank you for your insights.
Is there any other questions? The Sweehan, Sarnum, Kexyfess, you seem to have many.
So many. I do think that we have taken a lot of your time, and you know, because you've bestowed upon us a wonderful guide, Locknall, I can simply ask all of them to him. Right? Right,
Many
Locknall?
of them. Many.
Matmasuri looks at Mulkash,
Time.
and then he just laughs. And Mulkash lets out a couple laughter like they just told an inside joke of some kind.
I would love you to.
Locknall also maybe laughs along a little bit.
Yes, so funny.
Then we will take our leave and provision ourselves and then proceed.
Thank you,
Yes.
Locknall. Thank you all for what you are about to do. Travel wisely and swiftly and carefully.
We're good at all of those things.
And you
I'll bow and
Let's
they
lower
bow
my
back
head.
to you all, and you make your way out of the grand tent. The darkening is maybe less than 1,000 breaths away. Although Locknall, you know that lanterns get lit throughout the town, and oftentimes the Ixa meditators become more active in the darkening. Actually, and it kind of takes on a whole nother life in the camp. But there are tents, and none of this is paid. There isn't like, you don't need to stay at inns or anything. It's just travelers are so seldom who come to this space that simply food and stay is provided. Tents are made available. As much of the dal soup, the one single flavored dal soup, is made available to you all.
So much.
It's really good.
let us provision ourselves, and then you may take your repose.
I think as soon as we leave the tent, Kexyfess is doing figure eights around both Haruki and Locknall, just like weaving in and out, being like, that was the neatest thing I have seen in a long time. At least like 5,000 breaths. That was incredible. This place, incredible. What do you mean there's a weird weather phenomenon happening? And
That
we
is
get
a
to see
concern.
it and maybe fix it, or maybe just see it. That's great.
Allow me to tell you that this journey is not safe on a regular basis.
Oh no, Oh, absolutely. It's going to be really bad, but that's also the wonderful part of it, because then we get to experience new things and all of these little weird creatures and all of this weird weather. And then I also get to learn about you, and Haruki's the best. And so Ru and I get to stick together.
Yes, you can stick together.
Everything's great.
You should stick together well, but let us provision ourselves and not waste the remainder of this phase.
Should we be concerned, Kexy, about, the gusts of wind in your current form?
I'm strong.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sound confident when they say it.
Mm-mm.
But you're stronger, so I can just burrow in.
You can take refuge in my fur as we've done before. Are we expecting? Yeah, just like that. You can barely see.
Yeah, I'm just like covered in all of the purple fur, just like nestled right next to his neck.
And all your supplies are hovering.
Yeah, just floating just right behind.
Are we expecting any of these, wind gusts and big booming sounds anytime soon? I just want to know so that it doesn't startle me, like when it happens.
Then I would say expect them.
Okay.
Right now.
Not yet.
I look around.
Now?
Yeah.
No, in fact, none of it is experienced here in Seer's Chance. It's probably it's probably about 8,000 breaths through the foothills just to get to kind of where the mountains start to rise to the actual, like, what would be officially the Porter's Road. And from what you've heard, Locknall, even then, it's likely you won't experience much of it. It's once you've really delved into the Dreamgiver's aspiration that it starts to occur.
By the time we get to Stone Throw, probably.
You've heard about it occurring. So what you would know, Locknall, is that from what you've heard around town is that actually the closer you get to Stone Throw, to the Lucid Cleft, the stronger and louder and more gale force all of the weather is.
As you provision yourselves, I recommend that you have warmer covering. We need climbing tools and methods for heat.
Of course.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Yes, start with one.
Okay, well, then I have to figure out which one.
Do you think the Lenai are making all this weather? I love Lenai. They experience things in a way that I've never seen before. In fact, Lenai let me sort of inhabit them for a little bit to see how it was really wonderful. But do you think that they're maybe enhancing whatever? Or
I doubt that's what's happening. I think that whatever it is, something has been disturbed on the peaks and the elevations. I think that the Lenai may be as concerned.
Oh, that's bad. They're like never concerned.
It's a speculation.
Have you heard the boom yourself, Locknall?
I have not. I have not traveled the road since this began.
Oh, now I have more questions.
Oh, well, you do. I do owe you one more right now.
What about another one after that? Maybe 2 more?
Well,
Okay.
see how it goes.
Then, to go back to what my original question was, what is the pilgrimage about? What is the importance to Stilmanthagni about the pilgrimage? They said that they take it every few times a cycle.
A season? Yes, they're the great teacher here in our culture. The teachers are the leaders, and Teacher Stilmanthagni is among, if not our greatest. It is this pilgrimage that contributes to the great wisdom of that leader.
Oh.
Or
Locknall?
has. Yes.
Locknall, you would know that just about every time that Stilmanthagni returns, he has some sort of like extremely profound, deep memory of Nephis that he returns to, that he brings and shares with the others, ones that seers, even in this space, have difficulty ever really grasping.
The fullness of the knowledge of Nephis is within that teacher. And it makes this location, this collective called the Guardians, that much more beneficial to the garden. You should understand as well that when a question is asked of a Selku, it is in our nature to exchange value for that. So the fact that you are gaining this information without barter is a great privilege.
That's really nice, and I'm also happy to talk about anything you want. I love to talk. It's one of the greatest pleasures that I've gotten, because I can feel it, like it does a little vibration right here, and it's really fun.
Something strange.
And I don't get that in my body.
Yes. Well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yes.
But we should provision ourselves. Oh, there was perhaps more question.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm not really. I really want to know. So you've taken this route before? You've also gone to the summit?
No, I have not been to the summit. I have not been farther than stone throw.
You're coming with us to the summit?
Yes. I am going to get you to stone throw, and then we will together figure the route to the summit, to the cleft.
That's so exciting. We're all going to be experiencing something for the first time all together. How wonderful is that? Okay, let's go shopping.
All right. Then I'm going to lead to the prisoner.
Yeah, but likely before anybody else can ask any more questions.
They're cooking.
You arrive at a small stand. It's basically like two stands next to each other. There's already lanterns lit in preparation for the darkening coming, and there is a Selkie who you would know as Navajani, Locknall, and an Asgar named Mezkaden. And they strike you as quite the pair, as both are highly tattooed in their own fashion. Navajani with ornate script of like blue ink all over his body. Even his eyelids have this ink and just like this super fine script. And Maz Kaden with this like black artistic swirls and flourishes and shadowy forms all over their body. And even now, they just kind of sit there joking with each other. And they just seem to like really enjoy each other as like two people who have probably been doing this for a very long time. They're just very at ease in each other's presence. But there are wares displayed all out on these carts. You guys see like a large, thick fur blanket, some leather armor, a sword, of course, rations, mounted like a mountaineering kit of sort, a various number of tinctures, and then dangling from one of like the beams of the cart hood is a necklace. There's actually two of them, and they are composed of this sort of reddish black bark with a singular kind of almost eerie blue, like pale blue glowing bud on the tip of each of these twigs. And there's 6 of them forming a star that hangs from this necklace, from these 2 necklaces that are kind of dangling there, a sort of charm of some kind. Locknall, you recognize a actual, like a journal. It looks like a Selku journal of some kind. And there's also a Jadenite singing bowl, or Jadenite Asgul singing bowl on display.
As you'll see, companions, there is a great wealth of valuables here. There is good barter in this location.
Can I barter for all of it?
You cannot afford all of it.
Oh, okay.
But you
How
can
do you
barter
know?
for it.
I haven't told you.
Mascaden kind of points his finger at the little Sweehu.
Oh,
Yes, then these are my traveling companions for this journey. They wish to provision themselves, as do I.
Selkie kind of eyes them up and gives you guys a fairly broad smile.
Welcome. Welcome. I am excited to see you.
I'm
These are
excited
the
to see you.
ones, Laknor, who will
Yes.
search for Stilmanthagni.
Yes, we shall leave on the morrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
And he kind of gives you guys a bow, a respectful bow.
Well, ask about anything. We are happy to share and make trade. I'm sure you have collected some things in your journeys, and we don't often get those coming from afar.
we have some really interesting things. I have so many questions. What are these? And they'll start flying around, hovering around the necklaces, inspecting.
Ah, yes. Mezcanel, I'm sorry, Mazkadan sort of smiles. These, yes, they are made by a roaming sage in the Dreamgiver's aspiration, and she collects them from, of all places, the Gloomhaunts, the tree, this towering sentinels of bioluminescent carnivorous trees that grow in the valleys, the deep valleys of the Dreamgiver's aspirant. They are a charm of sort. You see, when you must fully concentrate, you snap one of the twigs, and it brings good luck. Systematically, what this does is you may snap a twig. There are 6 to them. And upon doing so, you may use primacy for any roll, even if you don't have a discipline.
Charm of key points.
That's cool. And also frightening as to why we would need that.
I think the main question you wish to ask, Kexyfess, is how much is the barter?
How much?
We would give it for 20.
Buy one, get one free?
He kind of smiles over at Lachnal. Would you like to make a bargain check?
I can try.
This is lore.
Lore? Oh, boy. Okay, 4 and a 2.
Okay.
Well, let me oppose it real quick.
Okay.
Perhaps not buy one, get one free, but we would give a discount of 3 value to something else if you buy it.
Okay.
Rue, what are you thinking about item-wise? I ask a question, you ask a question. I think that's fair.
Ruby can't take... Oh, there we go. Sorry, I thought you were talking.
Not yet. I'm about to. Will we need any sort of weaponry for this journey, or will we be fighting?
Why do I keep on forgetting his name?
Mescaline.
Mescaline.
Mazkaden kind of looks at you.
Well, we have heard the weather is strange, and that strangeness has agitated the wildlife within the Dreamgiver's aspiration.
Oh.
They are acting up more
Okay.
so than usual.
Good to know.
Do you have cloaks, things that we could use to keep us warm and that type of fare?
He gestures towards the fur blanket on display, and also the mountaineering kit.
There is a fur blanket also within the Mountaineer's kit. It's kind of a whole package thing, but otherwise, the fur blanket for staying warm, although you would probably fare better than the Sweehan.
And he kind of points and gestures to your fur, which certainly has helped you stay warmer in this climate.
I guess you're right.
Maybe we could get it, and then you could have it around you for extra protection, and then I could be in it. So when the wind happens, then we're in it together.
We're going to be in it together, quite certainly. Locknall, are you much of a climber?
I am learning. I am practicing my strength.
Do you think this climbing kit would be helpful to you?
Yes, but we may need more than one.
Well, Kexy can fly, as can I, at times.
Currently.
Now, Vajani, what else is in this single kit?
Yes, and unfortunately, it is our last again. Supplies are not coming very often. 100 feet of rope, anchors and rigging, an ice pick for climbing, especially more alpine, a thick fur blanket, and boot cleats, though I've never used them, but if you know how to do it, good for slippery surfaces, snowy terrain.
What is the value?
We would ask 15 value for it, though if you buy the star, we could apply the 3 discount to it and give it for 12.
I'm calculating
the rope and
value.
rigging could be used for multiple individuals tying in.
Of course. Companions, whatever else you wish to find out about. We should make wise purchases and calculate our value collectively.
What about the Selku journal?
I journal on myself.
Is it an empty journal, or is there something written in it?
There's absolutely something in it.
This is the Journal of Remembrance.
That sounds important.
It is from a Selkie known as Sabtoraja.
Locknall, you would have known Sabtoraja. Sabtoraja unfortunately passed in an adventure. This is a journal that he kept in addition to, of course, what he wrote on his body.
It comes in handy. It's full of really arbitrary, random things. However, it has a knack of providing information when most you need it.
Tome of wisdom, so to speak.
So technically what it does is 2 times per is it phase? Is that the per phase? The user may attempt a lore manifestation even if they don't have the lore discipline. You still can't use primacy if you don't have the lore discipline, but you could actually do a manifestation 2 times per phase.
Oh, and how much is that? That's
It's of good value. We would ask 25.
25. Okay. Okay. What about this?
and they'll flutter over to the Jadenite Asgol singing bowl.
That is even more expensive. 30 value.
Oh, okay. I'm going.
It's really only those who possess the discipline of soul.
I could learn.
When played, well, they have come from seeing the elders, have they not?
Yes, we have.
Yes. Yeah.
The Lady Nealthany has
Nealthany.
an even more refined version of this.
And it's
But
huge.
once per phase.
Once per phase. Sorry, don't need to be in voice for this. Once per phase, this can be played as long as you provide 100 breaths and have the song discipline. And if played successfully, it would provide an additional 1 primacy to you and all the listeners. If high success, it would provide a +2 for the phase.
That's so cool. This is cool. These are cool things.
Kexyfess, if I might recommend, and to you as well, Haruki, that you may wish to get your provisions, your food established first.
Right.
And to make
Yes,
sure you have enough water, because even though it may be cold and uncomfortable, we need to stay hydrated.
Yes.
Well, the rations are 1 value per ration. It comes with enough food and water for a day.
And we need 8.
Usually the road is 3 days, but depending on the circumstances, it's better not to be caught without unless you're good at scavenging.
Anticipate an extra day there and an extra day back, at least.
Is there an opportunity to do additional trading at Stone Throw?
Yes, the Lenai are always anxious to trade there, and they always have Landplock mountaineers coming in. Again, they are probably even more isolated and stymied than we are here in Sears Chance, but there will be trade and certainly rations there. Possibly more mountaineering kits, actually, Lochnaw.
And how many days from here to Stone Throw then? You said 3?
3 at best.
Well, then I will purchase 3 rations, please.
I encourage you to purchase 4.
I will purchase 4 rations, please.
All right. You can decrease your pool of value by 4 and gain 4 rations.
And me too.
Okay. Go ahead and do so.
I have 4. I'm going to get 1 more.
1 more. Okay.
So I have 14 value of items to barter with.
I'm
Willing to use all of it if we need it, but we will also need to purchase additional rations when we arrive at Stone Throw. It is possible along the way we will find things, as happens quite frequently, that may be of value to the Lenai, but there's no guarantee, I imagine, Lochnaw?
No, there are no guarantees. Even the Starnum and Silku, who live indefinitely, are not guaranteed to live forever.
Wow, thanks. That's so
I thought I would point that out because you had asked a question about perhaps something had happened to Stilmanthagni. It would have had to have been an accident.
Yes, right. That's a wonderful point. So if we have 14 each, and then we want to save 5 value, we'd have 9 each, and together that's back to 18 where we started, just collectively. Which meant that we can't get the charms.
Well, I think
your math might be a little wrong there, Kexyfess.
Is it? It was never. Look, I've lived a really long time. Numbers, as much as I love them.
Material wealth is a new concept for you.
It is.
9 for each of you would be 27.
Let's consider this. You have 14.
If Lachnal you're counting.
And Haruki has 14. And I have 17.
Oh, you have 17?
Do wish to purchase the mountaineering kit. It is important.
Yes.
Kexyfess, you may wish... Well, I think you have arrangements now with Haruki to stay warm.
Yes.
I have a fire starter already.
Yes.
As do I.
Consider a tent.
I have a tent. It's a small tent, but I don't take a lot of space, and I'm sure we could all pile in together, and it'd be really nice and warm.
I'm really big.
Wookie is really big.
My legs stick out the back, and my head out the front.
They do. There's a couple of nibbles on.
We only have a bedroll, no more tents, Lachnaw.
Oh, well, that answers that.
Okay,
question.
well, then that helps.
If
So
I
we have my tent.
Mountaineering kit, Kexyfess, I know you are interested in that. Bauble.
I'm interested in a lot of things, especially that journal.
I suppose I shouldn't have worded it that way, but I would say if I spend the 15 on the... the 15 on the mountaineering kit, which is essential in my estimation, that would leave 2 that I could contribute.
You'd really do that?
Of course.
Bro, we made a really good friend.
Well, we'll
So,
see.
Locknall, would you like to purchase the Mountaineer kit?
Yes, I'll do that.
Go ahead.
Okay. That would leave you 30 value total to negotiate with. So
To negotiate.
you go with
I'm
mine,
really good
Lester.
at that. I'm really good at talking.
Well, there's more to negotiation than talking, but yes, you are good. You've already negotiated 3 additional value.
That's true, but that's if I get the charm, and maybe I could convince them that if I get the journal instead, we can move that to somewhere else.
We could be convinced.
Said the other one, smiling.
I really like convincing people. What if I did a little dance? I could do a little bird dance.
No need to dance.
Okay.
You
She's
bought
quite
the
good.
backpack, and if you buy the necklace or the journal, something of higher value, we will honor the 3 and reduce it by 3 value.
Okay. So then, help Blacknall.
It would
So what-
be if you
what
want
are you
the journal at 22. Oh,
What
22.
does the journal do for us exactly?
It
Oh.
allows us to make a lore manifestation without having the lore.
Oh.
Twice per phase. Now, you do have Locknall, who is a lore manifester. So
That
keep
is
that in mind.
true.
But it would give you extra lore manifestation capabilities if you want.
Which is great for foraging.
It's really good.
I'm great at foraging.
Good. Then maybe we don't need the journal as much as it's really cool.
It's really cool. Will it be here when we get back?
Well, we can't make that promise for
Okay.
you, but
Would you tell us who bought it if it's gone by the time we get back?
we could tell you who bought it.
Okay,
have a-
great. Then I could go talk to them and convince them to give it to us.
I have a question for you. Is there any value that we could offer by way of message to Stone Throw, or carrying anything of importance to the Lenai for you? Is there a service we can provide, since we're headed that way anyways, that could help us perhaps in our bartering with you? These
Or find
items
something
are
on the way through.
quite these items are quite valuable, and we acknowledge that, but also we are here to help your people with the rescue of a powerful oracle. It might
Go
behoove you
ahead
to
and-
find it in your mind an opportunity to help us in that regard.
Go ahead and make a bargaining or a persuasion. Is there persuasion? There's like a social check, right? With lore.
Lore.
Can I help?
It's a called roll lore, right?
How
It could be.
helping works.
It could be lore. I usually go mind, but whichever.
Oh, mind. Okay. Sure.
Yep.
We can go mind.
All right.
Help
I think
in this?
Yeah, you can go ahead and help. Yeah. You're both chatting. Especially you. Kexyfess. Yeah.
I just rolled a high success.
Ooh.
Oh, incredible! Don't even need me. I make things worse, actually.
I hope. Yeah, as long as you didn't roll a 4. No, it's not a manifestation.
Well, now that you mention it, he kind of pulls up a backpack full of stuff. Weighs quite a bit, but if you bring this there, I know they could really use it. Tell you what, we'll give you half off of something instead of that 3 value if you bring this over to them.
We'll do it.
He hands Haruki the backpack. Yeah, it's fairly heavy. From what you can tell, it's mostly full of like preserved food.
Oh. Very well. We'll make
It's
sure
not
it
like
gets.
a kind
Is there
that's
a,
easily cookable. It's not like a ration where you could like cook it up fairly easy. It would take quite a bit of prep.
is there a specific contact we should seek out when we arrive?
Yeah, find the tea house over in Stone Throw. The parishioner there, he knows us. He'll be excited for this, I'm sure. They've been
You
with
know
us
what it
for a while
might
now.
be? It might be quartz.
Quartz, yeah, sure. There's some quartz in there for sure.
You know, I would be like,
There's actually a collection of lake stones as well, because they don't got that right. This is delicacy.
yeah.
Okay, so it's a bag of rocks that I'm carrying, basically.
Largely a bag of rocks. There is, however, some organic matter in there as well, because there's also Lamplok who dwell there, and they're not as big a fan of eating rocks. So, yeah,
It's hard on the teeth.
yeah.
Okay.
They're actually really good.
I think we should
You guys
get
now
one
have
of
a
those
50%
charms. We should get one of the charms for sure.
Yes.
Because those allow us to, it's basically a key point. And there's 6
Yeah,
key
so
points.
it's six key points, essentially. Except it's only primacy towards a yeah. So I mean, essentially a key point. I think key points do anything else?
Key points can be applied to anything that you cannot apply primacy to. So
This would be only to that which you can apply primacy to. It's
But
like a
also
limited key
disciplines
point.
that we don't know, right?
Basically, whatever you do, it's as if you have proficiency. When you snap that twig, it's as if you know that discipline, and so can use primacy anytime you would normally be able to use primacy for that one role. So if for example,
so you have
Is
to
it,
have a
is it amplifying the discipline that I already have? Or is it allowing me to use disciplines that I don't have?
yeah. So what it's allowing you to do is use primacy when having to make a roll for a discipline you don't have. So if I asked you for like
So that
a
is a key
body
point.
check for awareness, you could snap a twig and use primacy as if you had the body discipline to enhance your roll.
Okay,
could
so
manifest,
that is a
but we
key
could
point.
use.
Can't manifest. It's simply for rolls that you make, or like in this bargaining situation,
I
you
see.
could have done that.
And that's a good distinction, because primacy can be applied even when manifestations are not available, because primacy is not a manifestation power. Primacy is an ability.
Like your innate capability.
It's your understanding. Yeah.
So it's very useful for when needing to make challenge checks, especially in a section that you're not proficient with.
Yeah.
So you could get it for 50% off.
I
think-
done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kexyfess gives whatever objects out of their bag that would equal that, goes over, picks it up with their beak, and kind of wrestles it over Rue's neck. It's uncomfortable. There's a lot of pulling and tugging, and it's
It's all right. I can
doesn't go smoothly.
I can help.
No,
All right. Okay. All right. You got it.
Okay.
You look like a tiny robber pigeon.
Is there anything else you guys are buying?
That
So
was 10 value.
10, and you had 30, so you still have 20 value.
The fur.
I have it right here.
The extra, because then you have that, and then I'm in it, and then I have your fur and that fur, and it's double the fur.
And there is a blanket in the climbing kit, is there not?
I will need
As
that.
well? Okay.
Yes, that's yes.
Okay. So another blanket.
A thick fur blanket is a value of 7.
I can bring forth 6.
I will do the other one.
Perfect.
Sierra, I would like to
I just
get
empty the rest of my bag onto the table.
additional wraps, like a 1 value of wraps for my feet to
Oh, sure.
reinforce my footing.
Sure.
And so I can use those climbing
cleats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to note to you, Locknall, before we wrap up the shopping here, using the anchors and rigging and using the cleats will require a technology check to use those properly, anyways, to gain the advantage from them. And then the ice pick is going to use a basically decreases the difficulty when climbing, when making a body call, so it becomes an easier difficulty when climbing.
Makes perfect sense.
Anything else? Okay.
Anything else for you, Rue?
Do you have anything that can heal wounds? Should we trip, fall, slip, twist an ankle,
lose a
Gestures.
primary feather or otherwise?
I like my feathers.
Navajani
molt.
gestures to a series of tinctures. There's 3 tinctures out on the table, 2 of which are healing tinctures.
Yes, these would be of 12 value.
I'll take both of
all
them.
of them, truly. This one,
He points to one with like this deep purple liquid in it.
this one is a lucid tincture. You take it, your mind becomes lucid, awake.
I will take the 2 healing tinctures.
Record.
That would be
Kexy
24
does
for the
have-
2 healing tinctures. Do you
I
have
will
24?
take one. I will take 1 healing tincture.
As I say, Kexy does have one as well. In their
Awesome.
bag.
You may add a healing tincture. All right, we'll go ahead and take our break then, as I assume we're at the end of shopping. So let's take a quick break, you guys, and come back at, I don't know, Haruki, at 9?
We'll be back
that
in a
too
couple of minutes, everybody.
Couple of minutes.
Yep,
Okay.
we'll see you shortly.
The darkening comes after, even perhaps while you were there bartering in the stalls. More questions asked, more of Seer's chance observed and taken in, and the excitement therein, as Locknall leads you to a series of tents that you may take and use to rest the night there within. Whether together or apart in your own tent, it is up to you all. But
Together.
but in your own way, shape, and form, you go down for your repose. Is there anything you do just before the repose? Any final thoughts? Any final reflections on the day, on the travels, on the time before we move to the next?
Yeah, I think Lacknall's like, here's your repose area. I'm going to go to mine since I live here. It'd be my last rest at home. And then I try to turn away real quick.
Flutter along. I did have another question, actually. Well, first of all, whenever we're actually on the road, we're all gonna be together, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that wasn't actually the question. That was just clarification. The actual question that I wanted to
I would
ask
like the question.
was, you said that you're a Selku, and so you mark your body with all of the knowledge that you have, but you cover it. Why do you cover it?
Technically, I am Selkie. and
Selkie. Sorry.
We are all Selku. We are all Selku.
Oh, Selku.
But
You're a Selku.
within the tradition, I am Selkie. And it is my responsibility to record the lore since the emergence in the garden as it is now. And so I inscribe it upon my skin as a record,
Yes.
and I become the vessel of the information that then is brought back for the archive. It is a great honor in my culture to be a Selkie and to have
Yes,
the
you-
responsibility of going out and finding this information and bringing it back.
But you cover yourself. Why do you cover yourself?
There is more space on my skin to record without the weight of journals and the burden of physical objects. And it is part of the honor as well to become the living vessel of the record.
Yes, but
Let me show you.
do you
Uh,
cover?
I'll unwrap part of my wraps on my arm and expose my forearm, on the inside, just below
I
the
land
wrist.
on your hand.
And there's a little patch like a half knuckle by half knuckle of runic characters. And I say, this mark here reflects 14 phases of information on a great journey alone.
That small is 14?
Yes, you see, it does not take up much space to record a great volume of history. And should I desire later to return and become a teacher, I may have that opportunity if I wish, or I may simply continue recording the known presence information. That's how it works.
Wow. And so you cover because you're hiding your journey?
No, because it is weightless to record it on my body, rather than having objects that can get lost or ruined or add a burden to the journey.
I think there's a miscommunication that's happening here. You have your body covered by wrappings and cloth.
Yes.
Which covers the honor that you have to write your journey on your skin.
My dress is a different form of expression.
You hear
Okay.
Haruki call out from the tent, "You covering, you're covering."
Yes.
In a way. But I have other reasons for that. I'm not trying to hide the information necessarily.
Okay.
I am developing other practices of my own device.
Well, that's always nice to have a self-practice. Mine is asking too many questions.
I'm good at it.
It helps fuel my mind. And, you keep it on your skin. I keep it all up here. They are on your hand emoting with their wings.
Yes. Yes, of course.
So,
But that is what
okay, thank you.
you're observing. You're welcome.
Yes. And if you've done a lot of favors for me in answering questions, if there's anything I can do for you at any point, I like doing things.
We'll meditate on that offer.
I would also love to meditate with you at some point.
Well, all right. I'll also keep that in mind.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay,
have
good
a good repose, and I lift you with my other hand, and then, like ladybug, fly away.
And I run and fly over to Rookie. Say, Rookie.
And I turn to Ricky as well, and restful repose to you as well.
Yeah, you too.
And I will away home.
Kexyfess is jumping over Rookie's chest.
Time to sleep.
I can't sleep, but you have to listen. Like, I know that I'm still getting used to this body, and that bodies need to sleep. But hear me out. Lacknall just told me why they like to keep it's their journey on their body, but we couldn't see it because they cover it.
Yes, I heard. They're practicing something. Secrecy, perhaps?
No. They said it wasn't secrecy, and I believe them.
You do?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, he doesn't have a reason to lie to us right now.
Just met them.
I mean, I know that I'm a stardom, and I know that he's a Selkie. But we can. That's all in the past. I'm sure he has that on his body somewhere. I have it up here. There's an understanding that we share between us.
There's an understanding. Of course, there's an understanding.
I'm really excited.
Maybe you should fly a few laps.
Okay.
Thank you for the raid, Jordan.
And after some time, probably more time than Ruki cares for, although I imagine Ruki at some point is gone, despite Kexyfess's most endearing endeavors of conversation. And eventually Kexyfess as well, in her little Sweehoo body, goes to sleep. The morning comes quickly to the town. A resounding gong marks the, is it the awakening? Is that what it's known as? Or what is the...
It's just the end of the darkening.
End of the darkening. Okay. The end of the darkening comes, a gong sounds, and light returns. The three of you gather together, gather up your supplies, gather a last bowl or two of dal, before heading out. The backside of Seer's Chant, which butts up against a hill, a foothill on the one side, so you don't have to go back down into the valley. And as you come out, it's breathtaking, the many foothills as they roll out towards the towering sort of dark purplish stone of the Dream Giver's aspiration, many of the tips covered in snow. All along the hillside, as you guys move over the next 8,000 breaths, are long-haired gore, which sort of a northern variant of the gore, especially at higher altitudes, and they're just out in the pastures. Lochnull, you would know that there's far more than usual because seemingly not much commerce is going between here and Stone Throw. You just put out the long-haired gore into pasture until there's a reason to really move on through. So there's quite a few as you sort of move through this space. And as you come to the Dreamgiver's aspiration, coming through a final valley before the foothills give to large mountains, green grass flowing through the valley floor. It's here, Ruki, that you begin to see signs. I mean, all of you do, but Ruki, to you, it has a special meaning. Old, ancient, Lonplock, stones alongside this this cut. It's almost single file. It's enough for a single gore, like a line of gore to move single filed, well trenched trail, the Porter's Road, but no bigger than that. Moving and weaving its way through these valleys. Every once in a while, you'll even cross a bridge. Many of these bridges are themselves ancient Lonplock, moving over. But there's all of these stones and carvings, maybe once statues, maybe once part of an old wall or fencing, but all with like very, very faded Lonplock runes and engravings upon them or images, all well beyond deciphering. And the travels go smoothly. No booms, no gale force for much of the day. And it is really perhaps a little over halfway, the first unsettling thing occurs. And as you guys are walking along the trail, there is a gore, bridled, grazing up in the valley all by itself, but it still has everything on it, but not a soul in sight. There is what looks to be like a package, something that had been loaded, laying scattered off in the distance, and you can all make out a single boot still stuck to a strap, being dragged behind this gore that's just grazing.
Oh no, an accident of some kind.
Oh, that's not good.
I'll start
Do you want me to go scout it out?
Forward. Yes, let's check it out. There may be someone in need of assistance.
Okay.
Seer, just out of curiosity, are there any known I forgot the name of my own creature. MIMS bands in this area?
Of the MIMS, I don't believe so. Let me just double check. As I'm still getting familiar. The area is known to have a lot of the typical like you'll come across Coquerel and Corskatans, of course, fly around.
A lot of wild creatures.
Groff can be found. Some wild long-haired gore, although they're not as native. Ismu, of course. Play around. Let me get to the mim here. No mims.
Okay. An accident indeed. I'll work my way toward the gore myself. If anyone else is going that direction as well.
I think Kexyfess is gonna go high up and get kind of an aerial view.
Okay. Kexyfess, you fly up. Locknall, you begin approaching the gore. Ruki, what are you doing?
I'm also approaching.
Okay. As you guys draw near to the gore, you're probably 50-some shins off, but the gore takes note of you guys quite skittishly, and seems to take up a kind of defensive stand, even kind of starts to back away from you. You could make a called body if you want to try and like perceive from this distance. More details about it if you would like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
As will I.
Kexyfess, you could as well from the aerial if you want. If you're studying the gore, otherwise if you're kind of studying the surroundings, we can come to that later.
I either chose the wrong eyes or the wrong dice.
Okay.
I chose the right dice because I have another high success.
Nice. You can tell, Ruki, that the gore looks to have, though it's long fur, but it looks like tufts of its fur have been torn at, and you can see some amount of blood on its like flank, though not terribly wounded. You get the strong sense that it is like hyper vigilant, although it clearly was out of danger. It was grazing. But it seems very suspicious of anything coming near it.
Is it possible with my high success, because my other intent as I'm approaching is to be like, whoa now, girl. Whoa now. Relax, and just try to sort of like diffuse that tension that the animal is having, because I would, knowing that it's injured, I would like to perhaps attend to those injuries if I can.
I think can move your body in such a way as to be non-threatening, allowing you to get closer. As far as calming the beast, that's likely going to be a mind.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ty. A mind to kind of.
You could argue for lore as well, but either way,
lore, mind or lore could be used to try and essentially calm it. But you are able to get quite close to it. It's still quite nervous, though. You can hear it. It's like letting out these big breaths, but you've gotten maybe within 12 to 16 shins of it.
Okay. Are there reins attached to it, like a harness or?
Yeah, it's fully bridle. I mean, it has like what looks like there used to be a whole bunch of packs on it. Now that's almost all empty, but it has lots of straps on it, a bridle, a saddle up near its front, and it looks like scattered paraphernalia that has come off of it from probably quite some distance.
Okay, I'll try to calm it to the point where I can maybe grab the reins.
Yep. A mind or lore, called mind or lore would be great.
Right,
one detail about the gore, by the way, is they're so tall that they typically have a braided cord that comes down one side that the rider uses to climb up to get into the saddle.
Yeah, they're big animals.
That's so cool.
The details, Ty. The details.
The details matter. All right, I'm going to go mind on this. And there we go. That's my dice have decided differently. No.
Oh, no.
That is a 3-2.
3-2. Give me a second.
You do have the necklace. If you want to break one and get that up to a 4.
I don't think so. Not on this one.
The gore kind of it doesn't charge you, but it does back away from you suddenly and kind of positions, because they have a horn, and positions itself and actually now has the braced condition. towards you, and it looks like it's ready
Easy now.
to
Easy.
fight or run back.
Locknall, do you know this beast?
This specific beast?
Indeed.
You mean, no, this is not one known to me.
Okay.
It is domesticated, it seems, but the rider could be that it is unknown.
Very well. It is agitated.
I could attempt to see.
Perhaps
I will. Yeah. I think I'll use field notes, and I'll just stand still.
Yep.
And I'll try to see if I can know where this beast may have come from. I probably, I can't like scry the rider, but I could maybe know.
Maybe you've seen it before. You know its name.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Let's field notes it.
Yeah, that's a 3-1. So field notes would give me success.
Yep. This is Lenai. This is probably from Stonethroat. Coming through. In fact, now you see it. That boot is small. Likely belonged to a Lenai. And it likely trying for trade. It is worn, which tells you that probably either it's been without its rider for probably multiple phases, or the rider had to take it very off-road. But you can just tell by the strapping, by the condition of things, that it is rather worn, and the beast itself is rather tired. Yeah.
I'm going to signal to Kexy towards the packages that have fallen. They'd fallen, right? At least one had fallen.
Yeah,
off.
I mean, there's from your viewpoint, Kexy, you can actually see there are several packages, random cloth and stuff that trails off quite a way, and then kind of down a valley, away from the road.
And I will tell Yuki that this, I suspect, was a merchant or some trader from Stonethrow, but this beast would have traveled a long way to get this far.
It looks worn and hungry, does it not? I'll pull out one of my rations and just sort of like hold it up.
You can go ahead and make another mind or lore check.
I'll do lore this time.
Okay.
But I will take recovery on 2 2s, and I will. I think I'm going to take an armor factor. Could get ugly.
With that, the gore charges you.
Oh shit!
So give me a second.
I suddenly realized what I forgot to buy too.
Armor?
Yes.
Yeah, same. I just looked at my armor factor. I'm like, I have 0 armor factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was leather armor there. Yeah.
Now I have 1.
Oh no!
Ty, how long does that recovery armor factor last? Is it for the duration of the?
Yeah.
It's until it's gone.
Until it's gone. Yeah.
Okay. It charges at you, Rookie. But it actually stops just before you. Again, taking the brace, and it kind of backs off again, and
I just growl back at it a little bit, just a low growl.
We are not in combat, but clearly it is not interested in your rations, and your attempts to sort of appease it has only agitated it. And it is just standing there. It is ready.
As I'm holding the rations in front of its face, I'm just gonna, with my other hand, I'm just gonna come by and slap it to try to knock it out of its...
Oh, you're attacking?
No, I'm just gonna, I guess so. I'm gonna slap it to knock it out of its, trying to knock it out of its mindset right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is it still braced?
Go ahead and make what? Yeah, it's braced. So this is at high difficulty.
Okay.
Increase, yeah.
Right? That's braced?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're gonna need a 5 or a high success.
I'm gonna use some primacy here to re-roll both of these dice. How much does that cost me?
4?
To re-roll both of them?
To re-roll both.
Okay. Yep. All right. I rolled 2 1s.
Oh,
That's a big whiff.
Yep. A 4 and a 3, so that's a success.
4 and a 3.
But it's braced, so you'd have to bump your 4 to a 5.
Yes, it's actually a
but
fail.
You can't because you just used primacy.
Yep. So as you swing at it, so is that's considered a high failure then, right?
No, it's just a miss because
failure.
it needed a high success to succeed. So it's just a miss.
right. So it's just a plain failure.
Yeah.
Okay. You swipe at it. It kind of jolts backwards, and again is kind of in that defensive pattern. Anything you're doing, Locknall or Kexyfess, as you're kind of seeing Ruki kind of getting more and more into an engagement with this gore.
Ruki, that's not a beast to engage with.
I believe it's too late.
I will volunteer to back away. I'm gonna get. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're backing off. Kexyfess.
I think Kexyfess, seeing that there's something going on between her best buddy Ruki and this really, really big thing, is gonna swoop down, and I think I'm gonna try to stun the creature.
Okay.
Mental blast it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think how Kexyfess does this is you've seen Starnum before, their physical forms when they are not inhabiting an animal is that magenta, and you see some of that kind of leave the leak from some of the different orifices of the animal and go down quickly. This like strange gaseous form into the creature, and part of their consciousness is extending to it, getting into its mind and trying to find the parts that'll lock it up.
Now, question for you, Ty. It has the braced status. Does this also make it difficult? It's only for attacks, correct?
Brace is against physical attacks.
Physical attacks. Okay.
Yeah, it does get a challenge. Yes. It still gets a challenge, but it doesn't have the braced. I mean,
go ahead. Kexyfess.
Okay, and this is 2 because it's a challenge. Okay.
Or it's you're just doing a call, like an action roll.
Action.
So it could be 1 or 2. It's up to you.
It could be 1 or 2. I will make it 2.
Perfect.
Because that was my initial intention.
Do it.
That's a 2 and a 3. I will use a primacy to bump the 3 to a 4.
Go ahead and challenge. That's just a 2. You stun it. So the thing kind of gets like all wobbly and kind of backs off a bit and is just kind of like shaking its head, kind of dazed.
Back up. Please back up.
Okay, what are we doing?
I'm going to back up. Very slowly backing away.
You slowly back away. It does not pursue, even after it kind of recovers. And as you guys get enough distance, it actually turns and starts running back down towards that valley, away from the from you guys and away from the road.
Are you okay? Everyone okay? Everything's okay down here? Swoops down, is fluttering around again, worriedly looking for injuries.
Yes. Fine, I think.
Well, good.
Hey.
We should check the fallen goods.
Yes, I saw some things. Didn't really see a lot. Gotta be honest, I was really concerned. So let's go.
You guys fly over to the goods. It was quite a bit of rations. However, they have been damaged and clearly laying there for some time. They are now waterlogged, and most of them are ruined. But go ahead and give me, anybody who wants to search can go ahead and give me a lore.
Lore, yeah. That's my thing. I better do it.
Is there any sign of the owner of the boot? Like a body or anything?
You can make a body check.
I will bump that 3 to a 4. So a 4-1.
You are able to, Locknall, you are able to salvage out another 2 rations that were not compromised.
I got a success on that body check.
On the body check, it seems to you, first of all, when you were near the beast, you could clearly tell there was blood on the boot. There seems to be a small trail kind of back where the beast had come from through the woods of blood that you've picked up on, running back down into this sort of valley and into this, it's kind of like, not the tallest trees in the world, probably like kind of like an alpine tree, getting near tree line, like a thicket down in there. It's pretty dense. You don't know if that blood was something that trailed just from the boot, or if the owner was dragged off, or what. You can't really tell. It doesn't look like a lot of matted down grass, as if like a body had been dragged through the grass leading up to the thicket. So possibly something befell them earlier. And what remained kind of was dragged.
There's good distinction that there's likely the body is somewhere, something happened within the thicket is basically what I can tell.
Maybe the thicket or maybe beyond. You don't know how far that gore has come from, how far it ran.
Did the blood happen to look fresh, or is it old? Did I have a good enough look at it?
It is certainly dried, and looks to be probably days. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is a trail into the thicket. If there's a survivor, we may be of service to them, but the likelihood of survival, I don't know, Locknall. This could take us away from our main objective here, but I'm torn.
I don't mean to be unempathetic. However, we have a job that we are on, and also that Lena is definitely dead. And also whatever did that to them, we don't want to get in contact with, because then we might end up dead. Not that I don't have full faith of your all's capability, because you're very good at what you do, but I am frightened.
I should mention that the road between here and Stone Throw is equally as treacherous. We may, in fact, encounter whatever it was anyway. However, I don't think it came from the thicket. It would have come from the road. If the thicket shows an indication of a trail, it's a game trail, perhaps forged by the gore. That is my estimation. I think we should stick to the road.
Yes.
Haruki, as you guys perhaps move back towards the road, Haruki, you have been like studying this blood trail, the thin blood trail, and you just notice ever so slightly, for maybe 10 breaths, the dirt dances. Just like little stones just bounce about.
How is it,
exposed ground,
Kexyfess, that you're so convinced that this traveler is dead? I don't disagree that there's a high probability, nor that this could be a distraction, but if we are to take their rations, I would feel very conflicted about consuming the rations of a person who could still be alive and in need of help. I'm just going to gesture towards the thicket, beyond, within, or elsewhere. Things happen for a reason, as I believe, and this boot was placed in our path for a reason.
Rue's gonna nestle on your shoulder and look at you. Perhaps it's a warning.
Or an omen.
Or an omen. We do not know why it was placed in our path, but you have a very kind heart. And that's one of the reasons I really like sticking around you. It's really nice to see. But I worry for our safety. And if it has been days, as you all said, since this Lenai was seen, And if they were as injured as the blood suggests, either they are gone or they have found other people that could help them.
The earth shivers.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. The earth shivers.
How do you know?
Are we getting closer to the
Not
weather?
nearly close enough, no.
If you would just humor me in this, I will take just a few breaths to explore this trail. Just a moment to see. It would make me sleep much better on the next repose if I knew that at least I took a look. If you would just wait here for me, the earth shivers.
You don't go alone, but yeah, okay. If that's what you want, Rue.
I do.
Ruki, how do you want to approach this? Are you just walking down to it, or are you kind of going quietly?
This is where my hunting, though I don't necessarily have some of the expertise of my brethren, my pack mates in the Kekuts village, I am a hunter. I'm not a great hunter, but I know how to follow a blood trail. I know how to stalk. I might be a little bit clumsy at times, and I might be a little louder than my cousins, but I crouch down and I sniff the ground, and I look back at the place where I saw the earth shiver. And as I kind of line it up with whatever is in the distance, I just sort of like creep forward on all fours. Like you might see a polar bear sort of crawling across the landscape.
The tall mountain grass almost concealing you as you get down so low. And especially as you kind of move down into this little valley, you can hear the babbling of a small mountain stream somewhere in that thicket. Go ahead and give me a body check for your kind of stealthily kind of hunting form as you move in.
That is not a success, but I will take it's a double twos. I will take a primacy recovery.
Okay. You could. Yeah, okay. So you move down. Despite his form, Kexyfess and Locknall, you can definitely hear him going down. Ruki, as you sort of enter the thicket, clearly the gore came through rather quickly, and you see all these broken branches kind of around. You actually see like a leather strap has been torn caught on a branch. As you move down to this space, the thicket lasts for a little bit. You don't see anything profound within the thicket, but if you'll give me one more body check for just searching around in the thicket.
Uh, 3-2, I will use that primacy that I recovered to bump it to a 4-2.
4. Perfect. As you near the other edge of the thicket, the valley then descends pretty sharply, and you can actually see the gore now several thousand shins down this valley. Really, again, only really a game trail that sort of goes down. Even further past it, you can see like another sort of maybe small package or something nestled up against some rocks. And you can tell that at some point it must have gone way off trail. Way further ahead, come down through this valley, shedding its supplies as it comes. The other thing, however, as you're kind of taking in the sight, is you notice on a branch just up to your left, you see this sort of stone beaded necklace. There's a little bit of blood on it and like a little tassel at the edge, but it looks like it was less carved and more like the stone was simply formed into perfect circles and then laced on this string necklace.
I will retrieve it
from a branch.
If it's possible, I'll stand up and retrieve it from the branch.
The blood on it, I assume it's also dried. Yep. I sort of run my large clawed nail on the stone surface and kind of roughly kind of peel away some of the blood with my nail.
It looks like it goes around a pretty small neck. For you, it would be more actually a bracelet for you rather than like a necklace. But yeah.
I'll add it to my inventory. Does it look like, I don't know how long it's been since I've left my companions on the causeway, but
maybe a couple minutes.
Does it seem like I could continue on? Are there spots where maybe there might be, or does it seem, am I getting a sense that it's kind of fruitless to keep going, or do I get a sense that there might still be something beyond the next bend?
You don't see a vast amount. I mean, like you can pick up some amount of blood sort of along the way, but I mean, it trails. I mean, this goes down thousands and thousands of shins, keeps kind of going down, nestles then up and gets way far away from these things. You would be talking to get down the valley and then kind of around the curve of what it looks like it would go would probably be multiple thousands of breaths, several hours of travel.
This is not a unfamiliar feeling to have for Ruki when the hunt has escaped the hunter, as happens generally in the hunts that he's been on. So he realizes that moment and he will call out. I'll just shout, hello! Is there anyone in need of help?
It echoes through the valley. Some wind kind of gusts across. Somewhere far up above you, a corcusant grabs a hold of a zephyr and kind of spirals up into the air, but otherwise, just the mountains, the quiet. The gore perks up and continues running further down into the valley.
I'll stand sort of triumphantly as I stare at the gore as it runs away from me, and then I'll back down to all fours and I'll sort of, saunter my way back up to the trail with my companions. It was unsuccessful, but I feel better for the effort.
Really quick, if you don't mind. I think while Ruki is out there, Kexy is fluttering and staring, and possibly more still than they have been since Lacanal has met them, and they ask, how do you feel about all this? How are you feeling about them going out there and trying to find a person that's very likely dead, and possibly all of the terrible, horrible pain and stuff that I've seen him go through again?
You certainly must know that the Landplak and Kakut's traditions both are fine trackers and hunters.
Yes, and he's the best.
Yes, I would.
And he's the very best at it.
Okay, well then you should feel reassured. I, for one, and I'm squatting down on the side of the road. My knees are up as high as my shoulders, and my arms are crossed over, and my staff is at an angle, in the middle, and I look more like a frog now than a sapling that I did before. But I'm just contemplating on the likelihood that your companion is doing the best that any of us could do for what they're trying to attempt.
Right. Have you felt that this concern
For your companion?
in general?
I know that this roadway is littered with hazards. The fact that we have seen a victim already does not surprise me. It is unfortunate. And I am perplexed by the nature of what may have happened to them on an individual basis, but it is not entirely unexpected.
Right.
At this point,
What-
Ruki
what
is
if-
starting to head on up out of the thicket.
Oh, he's back. Rue, how'd it go?
Well, I'm afraid that whoever's boot that was is nowhere to be found, but I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to at least make an attempt. The effort makes me feel better.
Yeah, any time. I felt a funny emotion, and it felt weird in this body that I did not feel in the Lenai body.
What kind of emotion?
Worry.
Oh.
Worry. Yes.
What? About the lost traveler.
Yes.
As did I. That's why I sought to see if I could find them. Initially.
Yes.
I did find this, and I'll pull out the necklace. It appears to be
Ooh.
a necklace that a Lenai would wear, perhaps. It's small.
Heck yeah.
Have you seen something like this before, Lacknall?
Seer, have I, what I know off the top of my head, or would I have to make a? Would I have to manifest?
No, absolutely. This seems like mundane and common wear for somebody from Stone Throw. You definitely know that these beads were formed through Lenai elemental manifestation. Yeah. Yep.
The Lenai of Stone Throw favor such adornments. It's further evidence that this individual, be they dead or alive, has come from that place. We can be assured, however, knowing the Lenai tradition, that they are confident that their life continues in a cycle, and we should not mourn them greatly.
Yes. When you were saying that the earth was shivering, I thought that might have been what it was. Is the Lenai being like, I'm okay.
Perhaps that's true. That's a good way to see it.
Thanks. I try.
Ricky, you see me, I'm all squatted down like I said before, but then I stand up and I stand unexpected. You know how you don't really notice someone's stature maybe the first time you meet them, and then when I stand up from this position, I'm 6'6". I don't know how tall you are, but I'm literally sort of like a tree when I stand up.
About the same height as you.
Okay, but I'm much thinner.
Yeah, I'm wide.
Ruki, the value of that little necklace is 3, by the way.
Okay. Perhaps someone would be. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, it's just an offhanded comment. I could hop from one of your heads to the other head very easily. What were you saying?
I
No
don't
loss of
even remember.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure if it's important, it'll come back to you because everything you say is always important.
That's not true. I've said
It's
some
important to you?
very unimportant things before.
And it's all very important to me.
Really, all of it. What was the last thing I said?
All of it. You were talking about the necklace, and then before that, you were thanking us for letting you go on the little expedition.
Right,
and then before that, you were talking about how it went.
oh, you have such a good memory.
And with that, you as Kexyfess continues recanting very well everything said, you guys continue along the path for several more thousand breaths as the darkening starts to become closer and closer. And as it does, every 1,000 or so breaths, a gentle breeze hits you guys. For about a count of 10 breaths, and then it stops. Near the point that Lochnull, you know of some various points where it's good to camp. You've kind of been weaving in through valleys. You've come across a couple passes that you've moved through, but you know you will not have any vision of the Lucid Cleft until you've moved through the Seven Bridges Pass. You just simply won't get the mountains are far too tall. As you approach that sort of campsite, Lochnull, this is when all of you, well, first of all, Ruki, the trembling earth. You've picked up signs of it. A couple rocks, every 1,000 breaths clattering atop another stone. The trail and the dust for a moment, almost causing a slight smoke to rise up off of. And at this point, near the darkening, Locknall and Kexyfess, you have also seen it. With that light breeze, then you see just a small, maybe a couple inches high of dust unsettled off of the ground and then resettled down. And by the time you're setting up camp, at the 1,000th breath, you hear it's almost like thunder. It's so far off. And then the breeze, maybe 50 to 60 breaths after that. And this is the first time when you're making camp that you can feel the ground just a quick, almost like vibration move through, ever so slightly, move through the ground.
Wait, I have to feel that. I get flat on the ground with my wings out.
And that's good because you're probably on your bedroll at this point as you guys set up camp in this little spot.
A little birdie bedroll.
The mountain is restless.
And all night long, or all darkening long, Locknall, especially for you, the cry of the corcusant or the sweehu, which usually goes dormant, continues. The noises of animals and critters moving about is much more active than when you have come through this path before. And like clockwork, because it's the darkening has come and you're laying on the ground, like clockwork, every 1,000 breaths that tremble through the earth, the thunder, the wind, just gentle at this point. You know that the next day it will be about a half-day travel by the time you arrive at the Seven Bridges Pass. Come morning, go ahead. If there's anything you guys want to do during the darkness.
Yeah. On the morrow, we will reach the Seven Bridges, and our challenges will increase.
We'll be ready for them. Locknall.
Always. Yeah.
Please, everyone, remove a ration. And then anyone without fur, well, actually, everyone, I need you to make a body challenge roll. So just a single dice. It's body. If you have a fur blanket, this is made at decreased difficulty, or a fur coat, Rookie, this is made at decreased difficulty.
Okay.
High success. Well, not a high success, but a success.
2, okay. Locknall, a 1. Okay.
Oh.
Kexyfess and Locknall, please remove 2 primacy as the biting cold of this space has made for a restless sleep.
Seer, is there anything I can do as I see my companion shivering in the night with my I do have the body discipline. Is there something I could do to help them in some way?
I will, with that roll of 4, you can stave off one of them using your body heat.
Okay.
So does this mean our maximum for the next day is reduced?
Correct. So when you would rest, you would normally get back your IS and your primacy. It would be reduced by 2. Then you would get all your primacy minus 2.
Or minus 1 now with Rookie's help?
Well, Rookie needs to choose somebody, and he would stave that off, so they would get their full primacy.
What's the sleeping situation? We're all on bedrolls, kind of like in a pile?
There's a small tent.
With my feet sticking out one side and my head sticking out the other side? Yeah.
There are 2 people that are allowed to be in the tent that are size factor 4, and because I'm a tiny sweehu, I imagine I can also be kind of nestled in there with them.
Yeah, I mean, if Locknall is good being so cozy with everybody, then yeah, you can all make it into the tent. I'll allow it.
It's probably why I don't stay as warm as you'd think, because I'm pushed to the edge.
Yeah, I think seeing the shivering companions, I'll pull them both in closer. I'll kind of reach over as I'm on my back with my big bare belly,
up in the air. I'll just kind of pull them in, and I'll tuck Kexyfess kind of in underneath my armpit where there's a lot of heat radiating, and I'll do my best to sort of like give Locknall some of the fur, but I'll bestow the benefit to Kexy.
That's my best friend.
Perfect. So Kexy, you don't lose any primacy. Locknall, you'll be -2. Morning comes, and Locknall, you're thankful for it. The end of the darkening, as the glow of the crystal and things begin to warm a bit again. You all removed a ration, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And you begin your endeavors to the Seven Bridges Pass. The space is beautiful. The environment around you, there are mountain flowers growing everywhere. I mean, despite the sort of eeriness that lingers in the air, I mean, this is truly a beautiful place. I mean, the peaks are tall and sharp, and these are some of probably the tallest mountains you guys have ever seen.
Oh yeah.
They tower up, and many valleys, and Locknall, you know this is why you don't often take the low road when coming on Stone Throw. It's because the peaks are so high that the valleys are permanently dark. Sometimes very, very dark. The peaks will just blot out the sky crystal's light.
So even darker than twilight during the dark.
Yeah, correct. And especially if they're wooded, then it can be very, very dark. And then in the darkening, almost impossible to see. So most of the time, the road doesn't always go super deep into the valleys. It rides along the sides of different mountains. Making for the trail is therefore often quite a lot of elevation and quite a lot of more rugged because it doesn't run naturally along the valleys. But you move through every 1,000 breaths, that thunder in the sky, stronger. The wind more gusty, and the ground shaking ever more as you move. By the time you approach sorry, let me get the name correct. By the time you approach the Seven Bridges Pass, you can see essentially the Porter's Road runs towards these tall, jagged, and steep cliffs that run one into the other, stretching up almost like a wall that cuts across north to south. And you can see, and at first you're like, how are we going to possibly go over this steep and jagged cliff? And as you kind of round a corner, there is almost like a razor blade has been cut through the cliffs, and it runs like literally 1,000+ shins through the entire thing, some ancient riverway that had cut down, but it is sheer. It is maybe no more than like 10 shins wide. But it just runs straight up thousands of feet or thousands of shins up, and it is just like not much for there's not much jaggedness or anything. It's just like somebody took a blade and just cut like a hot knife and cut through the mountain. At this point, the gusts, Kexyfess, every time the gusts come, you have to hold on to Ruki's fur. This is like starting to become quite powerful. Ruki and Locknall, maybe more you, Locknall, you have to almost like take a bracing stance as this wind comes through. And right as you come around this corner, the 1,000th breath, you hear the boom. And the air comes, and it's originating from beyond the pass, but it's filtering through that pass. All of the air is rushing through that pass, and it comes through like a shotgun blast, just whoosh, the air pushing through, and you just see debris being pushed through that pass, and out the other end.
It's not washing over us?
No. I mean, you're not that close yet. You can kind of see it, but you see like branches just being like torn through that pass. And at this point, you can also see there's actually a collection of tents and gore all kind of out around the edges, off to the sides of the pass, likely travelers who have set up camp here for some reason, stuck at this pass, at the 7 bridges.
Wow.
Like a range camp?
No, this is like travelers who were trying to get to Stone Throw, and they're
Could
all
make
getting
it.
glommed up at the 7 bridges pass.
It's like a variety of travelers getting locked up in waves or in stages, maybe? Or do they look like they travel together? Are they the same culture? Or?
No, there's various cultures. Very few Leni. It's mostly looks like to you, Locknall, it looks like a lot of Lomplok, probably mountaineers who are headed to Stone, and some merchants. You actually notice a couple of familiar faces of merchants who had left Seer's Chance. And you thought by now, this was like a week ago, they should have been in Stone Throw, and they're just here. They're camped out.
Why wouldn't they have turned around, Locknall, and head back the other direction?
I'm surmising that the force of the wind that's coming through from that thunderous sound, which seems to be percussive, is stopping safe travel across the gap. It may even be impossible.
Maybe they're holding out hope that it'll stop soon?
I suspect that they can neither cross where they should cross, nor do they wish to go down the low road.
Perhaps we should ask them and see what is the trouble ahead.
We should.
I would love.
Away, probably about 500 breaths. It kind of come over this hill and start weaving down towards this pass. It's now that you see the river, a whitewater rapid essentially that runs and cuts its way. The path is probably a couple hundred shins above the water, and as it moves into this slit of a canyon, you can tell that the path is still probably about 100 shins or more above the rapids down below, and there are bridges that connect from one cliffside to another, some 100, even gaining some elevation and going down some elevation through this slit. Ancient Lomplok bridges. As you get closer, Asgal waves towards you all, and invites you guys to come to the encampment that is forming.
We approach.
Hello.
Traveler.
Where do you hail from?
We are coming from...
Chance.
Yes. Seer's Chance. Well, welcome, and I'm sorry.
What's going on here? Why is there a bottleneck of travelers here?
He gestures towards the pass.
Can't get through, not with the gore.
This is... Well, the quaking. It has compromised some of the bridges. 3 or 4 gore went down not more than a week ago when one of the bridges collapsed, taken with the rapids.
A bridge has collapsed.
I think more than one.
Oh, that's bad.
Do I know, just for my own benefit, based on where we're at, how close the low road divergent point is?
Sorry, low road is through the pass. You don't get to the high low road. From here, you would Locknall to get around this wall would probably be something like a 4-day bypass, because this cliff wall goes to go over is difficult. You would be utilizing all of your climbing gear, and it's still difficult because it is jagged and steep.
I'm assuming this is the 7 bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is the 7 bridges. There were some who have struck out and trying to move around. They were tired of waiting. We've been just waiting to see if the weather will change, if something will happen that we can repair the bridges or get some sort of means to get the gore through, because, well, the beasts are... They're agitated.
They're a nervous lot.
Moving around, there is no solid trail out and around. It's all game trail. And the beasts can be more problematic. So there's this little bird raising its wing.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks confused at the bird.
Hi.
Oh, it's Ox. Oh.
Yes, hi. I'm Kexyfess. I'm a Starnum.
This is
yes. What I'm
That makes
inhabiting
more
right
sense.
now. Yes, I'm not just a talking Suihu. That would be really cool, though. No. How many of you are there that are stopped here right now?
He kind of looks and does a count. Hard to keep track. Some come and go. I think we have 4 or 5 Lomplok mountaineers who were bringing supplies. They've been camped out here the longest. They seem content and waiting, but they're also pretty good at hunting. And then there's maybe 4 or 5 of us merchants.
Okay. So,
Any or more gore?
if we all worked together and tried to do what we could within 1,000 breaths using our manifestations, certainly we could make something happen, right?
Maybe if we had a lean eye.
I think
None
the
of us
problem
know
is
elements.
if the bridges are collapsing, even if we repaired them, they could collapse again with people on them.
The other difficulty is the speed at which you move through. With gore loaded with packs, there is no way to get them through in 1,000 breaths. Even if the bridges were well built. When those winds come, they come hard through that pass.
Why have you
Not
not
one being
turned?
swept.
I'm sorry, I didn't
The
mean to
winds
interrupt
alone.
you.
Well, why have we not turned back?
Precisely.
I figured, for me anyways, that some have returned back to CS chance. For me, it's how long can it last? I've been holding out hope that maybe it will stop or lessen, and maybe we can get through. With the Lomplok here, we're able to get enough food to keep things going. I don't mind the wilderness, I guess. As long as the beasts stay at bay and there's enough of us where they tend to.
And your goods are not spoiling.
Most aren't rations for me. Most isn't food. And if it is food, it's, what they like to eat in Lenai. Which preserves for a long, long time.
Indefinitely. There is no passing with general foot traffic such as ourselves, however. I'm looking around.
Maybe it's possible. Zolk! He calls over a Lomplok, big guy. Yeah. Would it be possible, you think, by foot? No gore? Just yourselves to get across? Possible. Dangerous. You'd need to move fast. There'd be jumping, leaping, maybe some climbing, and you don't want to fall. It's a long way down into rapids, and not a lot of things to grab a hold of. Locknull, just on the other side, those rapids lead to a waterfall. That's why they're so intense. So if you don't get out fast, you're swept over and taken down. So, you wait for the next gust, for the next quake. Pray to God it doesn't drop another bridge. And then you move. You move across the bridges where there aren't any. I don't know what your manifesting powers are. If you can fly. Fly fast. You can do it. I think you can do it. As long as you're ready. But there are at least 2 bridges. Last I checked out. Let's think. And he starts thinking on the bridges. My knowledge, the first and second bridges, they're intact. Third bridge is out. I don't think it's a big gap, the third bridge. Maybe that you're able to jump it. Or if you have a bit more time or are fast at setting up a rope, can set up something to pull across. Fourth bridge is also out, and that's a bit more treacherous. It's longer. It had a stilt, a small cliffside, so it's possible to jump, but you don't have much footing on that. Some of the bridge still remains, so you can utilize it to maybe get more leverage. Fifth bridge, to my knowledge, was still up. Last I checked, but it's been a couple of days. Sixth bridge, if it's not collapsed, it's going to collapse soon. It's weak. It's breaking apart. Can't tell you much about the seventh bridge.
Are there Wotan among the travelers here who are waiting for this gusting to change?
No Wotan, but one of my companions is proficient with technology. We've already prepared some wood. He kind of shows you that they've felled a couple trees, dragged them up from the valley, and have been making them into something that could fasten strong enough, hopefully, to get some gore across. We have plenty of rope, of course, plenty of tackle anchoring that we can use as fastening, as to mount the things, but again, it will all get torn up with that wind. It comes through. It is a blast. Not much can remain. Maybe if you're anchored in well enough, fastened in well enough with equipment, you might be able to, but you pray to God that the quaking doesn't set it free. Problem is the wind coupled with the shaking earth. It compromises everything. So your best bet is to get through before the next 1,000 breaths, to time it, or it's to risk a long route on the game trails through the wilderness, but that's another 4 days. And the beasts are restless.
We can handle 1,000 breaths easily, right? Right, Rookie? Right, Locknell?
Your information is helpful. Thank you.
Very. Yes.
I'll turn and face my companions. We have few choices here. We are better prepared to go the more treacherous way, which is to try to cross the distance of these collapsing bridges, than we are to go around. We would have to forage. It would delay us some time. What do you prefer to do?
It seems as though time is the limiting factor here, Locknall. Do you think that you could traverse the broken bridge road?
Whether we traverse the broken bridges or we venture into the wilderness, our odds are, in my estimation, the same.
One other thing I forgot to mention.
This may change everything. Yes.
It's might not change too much, but especially for your bird friend, for the Starnum. Don't fly too high. Roar wings nest up near the peaks, and they are very agitated.
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, that's good to know. Thank you.
So
Yeah, I would
flying,
really-
if you fly, stay low. You can afford it.
Yeah, I'd hate to be snatched.
Yes.
Is it safe to assume that we know what roar wings are?
Yeah, I think it's safe that most of you would know. I mean, they're fairly
So
common,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, they're common enough.
in multiple terrains.
They add an additional threat, of course, with their
That's what a
roaring.
roar wing looks like. It's they're fun. They shriek at you.
How big are they? Just for future reference.
They're not terribly big. They're size 4 factor.
Okay.
So, Lucknow, we have the benefit of being able to fly. So our odds are likely better taking the broken bridge.
I
route.
will affirm the truth in that statement. However, I am more adept at falling.
Correct. Which we'd hope to not have happen. So my question again to you is, do you think that you can traverse the broken bridge road?
I have Navajani's equipment. I will use that to anchor myself.
I think this is a good time for me to also mention that I can help someone fly as well. So if Rue wants to fly with his body thing, and then I fly with my wings, and then you fly with my mind, then we're all flying and we don't have to worry about jumping. We just have to worry about really scary war wings.
Well, then it sounds like we have options. And I am committed to my duty to guide you to Stone Throw.
Which is once again really nice of you. Thanks. Rue and I have got this on our own for sure, but also having you here is really comforting.
Good. I am glad.
And the three of you wait, not wanting to lose another day. You wait for the next 1,000 breaths. Well, more like 400 breaths. The boom. The quaking earth as the ground shakes and you can hear it tremble. You can see small stones falling from even some of the nearby bridges shaken loose. And then the wind coming through like a blast. You actually step aside out of the direct course of it as it comes ripping through, pulling up dust, knowing that the second it stops, the three of you will bolt for the pass. And that is where we will end tonight.
Such a sense of dread.
Time trial. We got to do it.
Yeah, there's no
1,000 breaths.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
And
Awesome.
That's
What a great kickoff to this new series, Paul. Great job.
Incredible.
Dude, the descriptions that you gave, the terrain really made it come alive for me.
Good. I'm glad.
Cool.
Like, that was really, really great. I could see it in my mind's eye, and it was treacherous indeed. So excellent work there. Let's go around the table and do some outros and that sort of thing, and then we'll pass on. We'll raid into somebody and go our merry way. Let's go ahead and start with Rachel again.
Hello. I'm Rachel, or Ktyria, or Kexyfess. I've had a really fun time this stream. I'm very excited to see where these characters go and the horrors that we face. And if that ocarina ends up being used at some point, I'm scared. The amount of dread and excitement is palpable. So thank you, Penburrow, very much. I am really happy to be here. As is put in the chat, if you want to watch other things that I've done, there's Outlaws of Greyhawk, which is one of my favorite games that I've ever played in my life and is absolutely worth the watch. There's also the Bridgeway series, which was the Nuovarden. It was our first, I think, at least my first jump into Nuovarden, which was absolutely incredible and so fun. And I played Philibai, who was an Ikshi. And now we're here. And thank you so much for being here. That's me.
Thank you so much. Let's jump to Ty next.
And I am Dungeon Mr. Ty, who has Adventure Sling Productions, which is the creator of Nuovarden and this Fortune's D4 system. And Yeah, I am very intrigued and concerned about the world that I am now trying to survive. I think, Rachel, the way you said the dread is palpable for sure. It's very intense, and you could just see the challenges ahead. You're like, it's either going to succeed or it's going to utterly fail, and we're here for it. So I'm glad to be. I'm excited to be involved in this, and I have been waiting for a very long time to play Lacknow and see where it goes from there. So many things coming up that are all over the place. The next Adventure Sling podcast should be dropping next Friday. The interview series that will continue with many more guests lined up this spring. There are projects in the work right now, some I can't talk about, some that I have talked about that I'm waiting for updates on. Look forward to those as well. The Mall of the Mountain being one of them, the first full adventure for Nuovarden coming out pretty soon, and other things that Dave will talk about. So that's me right now, and I will pass it on to you and probably have more in-depth updates as the series goes along.
Thank you so much, Ty. This game is fucking awesome. Love playing this game. So well done on creating a masterpiece. If you want to get it, I put the link in the chat to the Drive-Thru RPG. You can get a digital copy, you can get a soft cover, or you get a hard cover like I have. And it's a beautiful game and a beautiful book. You should definitely support Ty and get knowledgeable about this game because it's going to blow up. All right. And then last but certainly not least, Paul, once again, I just want to say really quick, thank you for putting together this awesome adventure for us to embark on in this groovy world. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Paul Angelo, Penburrow online and on Insta. Author of House of Eidolons, Cyberpunk, TTRPG, heist-like. It's fun. You can watch videos of it, but I won't go terribly into it, but take a look. There's a website. We'll be kickstarting soon, hopefully end of Q2, but we'll see. And yeah, just super excited to bring this to you guys and see it come to life, and very excited to really run a game. And I feel like your setting, Ty, this earthpunk setting, to run a game where nature is a huge opposition, like can be this huge opponent to you, is not something I've done before in a game, as far as like just like the weather and these sort of events versus just like combat or whatever. And I'm enjoying it a lot, and I think the system has a lot of stuff that lends to it. And so I'm just excited to bring it. And also, if you don't know, I'm an avid hiker, and so I'm like, all of this is dredged up from beautiful places I've been. Seven Bridges Pass is a pass out of northern Iraq in the mountains, remote area that like nobody gets to be to. And I like, the description is on point. It is insane. It's just this cut through the mountains, sheer cliffs, and you just like go over these bridges that were built way long ago. Some are out and there's just planks across and there's just water rushing down below you, some like 50 to 60 feet below you. And yeah, it's crazy. It's so fun. Anyways, so it's so fun to kind of bring some of my experience in, and I'm very excited for what's to come.
God, no wonder your descriptions are so conjure up these very specific images, because you're drawing upon real world experiences. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Makes it even scarier knowing that there is a real place that looks like that.
Yeah, I was getting. Sorry, I was just I hiked Angel's Landing in
oh God,
Zion, and so that's what I'm drawing.
Yeah, same. Yikes. I was getting a lot of Tibetan vibes when we were in the town, and yeah, very, very cool stuff. Thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate it. And y'all, Paul is a little modest about Eidolon sometimes, but that is a fantastic game. There is currently, I believe, a pre-launch program going on right now. So if you go over to eidolonsrpg.com, you can sign up to donate $1 towards the pre-launch. And in doing so, you get to be kind of a founder level coolness
for this new RPG that's going to be coming out, but also you get some cool exclusive content that was created recently for one of the Guild Superior campaigns that we had. So just go over there and do it. It's $1. Pledge to help these guys, get them some good momentum going into their Kickstarter. I think they will appreciate it, and so will you once you see the beauty of this system as well. So with that said, my name is Dave. You guys know who I am. I like to promote my friends who are super fucking creative. We are also at the same time, I didn't mention it a whole lot tonight, but we are also doing a fundraiser for the ACLU. As you know, the ACLU was just in court, in front of the Supreme Court, in fact, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think that their arguments are going well, or should I say the arguments of the Trump administration are going horrible because they don't know what they're talking about. But the ACLU is basically taking the administration to court because of, in a lot of different cases, but in this case, because they're trying to strip a constitutionally protected thing called birthright citizenship. If you don't know what that is, go check it out, Google it, find out, get involved, make a donation to the ACLU because they are literally in the trenches fighting authoritarianism every single day. And so we are supporting them, and we think you should too. So if you can, please do. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of days. Tomorrow night, we have our finale of the Static Veil, which is our Things from the Flood campaign that Mr. Alan Henry has been running for us, along with a beautiful cadre of performers and beautiful people from the New Zealand branch of Guild Superior. So come on over tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Central, Friday, for that finale. And then next week on Tuesday, I see Jose Ortiz in the chat, our Dungeons and Dragons game, the Evergreen Prince, will be wrapping up on Tuesday with a big finale as well. So lots going on. Then we'll be back here on Thursday next week for part 2 of Ruminations of Stilmanthagni. Thank you, everybody, for being with us tonight. We're going to raid into somebody, so stick around for just another couple minutes, and have a great night. Do some good out in the world. You can make a difference with love every day. We'll see ya.